3, 2. Oh my God.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
The Airtime Podcast is presented by Van Shoes since 1966.
There's nothing fake about it. Have something to believe in and be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Airtime, y'all podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. How you doing? We have not a legend yet, but somebody that's on the up and coming. I thought he was 23. He just told me he was 19. I've been following him for a while. A Whistler local and an absolute savage on the snowboard, and an amazing human off the snowboard. We have Truth Smith on the show. Thanks for coming on. How you doing, boss?
How's it going? Thank you, Jody. I appreciate the intro. Stoked to be here. It's an honor. It's crazy to be in this room, sitting on this seat.
Oh, nice. How do you like the seats that I picked?
Dude, I love the seats.
Yeah,
I feel like there's been like a lot of nice bums on this seat too. It's like
couple
kinda
nice
comfy.
bums.
Yeah.
Couple nice bums for sure.
Pretty crazy. Devin Walsh's bum's been on this seat. And that's crazy to me. I'm tripping on that.
How was the park today? You went riding.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We weren't going to talk about it, but it was pretty fire up there.
I couldn't go up because I had to get ready for this podcast, and I'm going back home to host an event, and I really want to go riding today. It's been absolute shit here, and it finally snowed a bit, and it got groomed into that ice, and it was blue. How'd you ride today?
Yeah, it was Bluebird. I rode pretty good, too. I actually had a great day. I was smiling a lot.
What's a great day in your eyes?
Oh, man. Everything's just working. Like, you're just like we mentioned, it's a Bluebird day. The board is strapped to the feet nicely. Everything's just moving nicely, and like it just starts clicking right off that first hit. And you're like, all right, today's the one. All the boys are hyped. It's just like, yeah, you just start linking things.
Okay, so first jump is probably like a 20-foot jump. It's first hit. It's the morning time today. What did you do on that?
First hit today on the first jump? Oh, man. I think I went cab 3, actually. I went cab 3.
Cab 3 out of the gates?
I went cab 3.
Damn, dude. Devin's bum is hyped.
Sick.
Cab 3. Good trick selection.
Yeah, I was actually like been trying to do a couple lately because they're just sick and everyone does front 3s. So it's like, let's switch it up, go cab 3. But I wobbled it. I wobbled it hard.
Oh, you didn't land it?
I landed it, but I like did that thing where you move your knees back in the air to like slow down.
Ooh, because you went big.
I just like went too fast because I always do cab 5, so I just slowed it down and just like try to stop myself.
Did you grab on the cab 3?
I didn't today.
You did a no grab.
I did no grab.
If you were gonna grab, what grab would you grab?
On the cab, maybe like switch melon.
Switch. Okay. So
or melon.
So like if you're going down, this one gets under my skin. Like I don't care if you're going regular or switch. If you're riding down the hill, it's just like what grab are you doing? Is it a melon?
Perfect.
Like
It's a melon.
It's a melon. Okay, cab 3 melons are nice.
I haven't done it, but I'd like to.
I will say that in 2014, I had a really good one, and I lost it.
No.
I haven't tried one for years. Maybe I still have it. Maybe it's still in the vault.
We're doing it next lap. Next time we're up together, first lap.
Okay, and then you go to the
melon.
big jumps. You're moved on.
Yeah.
You went down that steep part that's probably sheer ice, even if they did groom. Now you're on the big jumps. Did you ride the big line today or the medium big line?
We went big line today.
You went big line.
Big line. First day back on the big line in a minute. So,
what's your line out of the gates on the first one?
lap? Oh man, I would have done straight air, and then either a back 3 or a straight air if I remember correctly. Probably back 3 on Kong.
Okay, 80-foot jump. Okay, like let's go 60-foot plus
60-foot
size
probably.
jump. Do you feel more comfortable doing a straight air or a 360?
It's hard. I like to do straight airs first because it's just like you can get to feel the jump more.
Yeah.
Where like I don't know if back 3 is usually the go-to, but I like to straight air it first and like kind of like stick my legs out straight and look all weird for a second. But
I like to do a 360, so then if I'm gonna knuckle, I don't find out until the end, where there's nothing more horrifying than doing a straight air, knowing you're gonna deck the whole time. You're like, this is gonna suck.
Are you doing back 3 or front 3 though?
I'm a front 3. I mean, there was a point where I was a back 3 for a long time, but then I went to the front 3 probably 2014 when you were how old are you? 19. Jesus. Okay, 19 years old, born and raised in Whistler. If you're born and raised in Whistler, when you have to go to school, do you go to school? Like, were there parameters
No.
around that, or do you even have to
You
show
don't go
up?
to school. Like, barely ever.
What
It's
do you
like-
mean barely ever?
I think I was at school 2 days a week, maybe. Maybe.
Did you get your grade 12?
I graduated high school.
And 2 days a week? What
I
are we
mas-
doing over with?
I
We're
made it.
full time. You're a part-time job and you got the same outcome? Oh, man. Whistler teaching is epic.
Dude, it was dope. I did like a lot of online classes, or not a lot actually. I did like a couple, but in the summer we'd like try to grind out English, or I think I did PE online once. That was a trip. You're just like writing down like, I worked hard today. I ran, and they're like, all right, pass.
Great job.
Yeah, you're like what? But yeah, I think I started in grade 7. I was doing 3 days a week, and then grade 8, grade 9, 10, 11, 12 would have been closer to 2 to 0.
If I was a parent right now,
Yeah.
actually, this is a double-edged sword. I was going to be like, I would be dragging my kid to Whistler so they don't have to be in school full time. But you, at the same time, you want to also have educated kids.
Yeah.
To some extent. Are you a strong school wizard, or are you
I wouldn't
kind of
say I'm strong at it.
in the middle?
Like my English is pretty cooked.
Nice.
You'll probably notice that a couple times here, but I'm in the middle.
I'm a middle person
Yeah,
too.
I was really good in grade 4 actually. I killed it in grade 4.
Oh, grade 4?
Yeah.
My highlight, I think my peak was grade 9.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a really strong. This is actually crazy, and we'll get into this.
All right.
But I got a super bad concussion.
Oh.
Knocked out. For I don't know exactly how long, 24 hours, maybe 36 hours.
Holy shit.
Something long. And I came back after I relearned how to do everything, read, walk, talk, the whole 9 yards,
Wow.
which took a while. I went back to school and I got better at school.
You were smarter.
Dude, do you remember old
What,
TVs?
dude?
You would be like, if they're kind of busted, you smack them really hard. It's kind of before your time, but anybody that's over 30 knows what I'm talking. Their grandparents' TV, if it gets all fuzzy,
Yeah.
if you just smack that thing, it like stops glitching and works perfectly. I think that's kind of like what
happened to
needed
you?
to happen
No
to me.
way, dude.
Like I was glitching and I needed a good smack.
Reset. Your
You-
teacher's just like, dude, who is this kid?
They did. I swear, or at least in my brain, I recall my teacher being like reaching out to my mom to be like, we need to like look into this because your son
No
is
way.
significantly smarter. And then then it was like, I'm from a small town, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
You get into the reefer and all that stuff, and then you're just like, am I good at school or am I not? I don't know. It wasn't. But anyways, dragging this back to you here.
Yeah.
You hit your head recently. 2
Yeah,
weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Got KO'd.
KO'd meaning blackout or fuzzy or
Blackout,
oh
I think. So I guess fuzzy. No, I was pretty knocked out for sure.
on
Yeah.
what?
Oh man, it was a down flat down, and I was doing a forbidden. I was gapping to the down, and I from what I remember, I went hard right cab 2, locked super late. I was on a new board too, so fresh edges, and brought my knees up kind of because I wasn't gonna make it almost, and slowly started to fall off the side of the rail, and kind of caught, and then I think my tail caught off below the rail, and just KO'd, slid for 100 feet. It was a pretty fat down flat down too. It was 4 feet high. It was high and full speed into that thing.
Is
Yeah.
it do most contest riders detune the edges, or are most people wanting that because if you're
Dude, I
going up
don't know.
switchback 16, 1440s and stuff, you need to hold your edge.
Yeah.
Do you personally detune your edges, or do you keep them fresh?
I used to detune them, and then I talked to a ton of people, and they're like, "No, you don't detune your edges. Those things are perfect." And I was like, "Oh, you're right. You guys are sick. Of course, I'm not gonna detune my edges." And then I get KO'd. So now I detune my edges for sure. But usually there's a wax tech at these events, which is sick. Ryan McDermott's the one that's usually with us, and he park tunes them. So they're good for rails and they're hitting the jumps nicely.
Oh yeah, there's probably a specific angle
Yeah.
or a certain bevel that goes really nice where you can still
Exactly.
hold an edge. And
Yeah.
I always feel the tip and the tail, you don't really need to. You can completely dull those, and especially when you start doing boxes and stuff like that, you
True.
do not need anything on your nose and
No.
tail. But then the back tail is the one trick that I put a lot of emphasis in pushing.
Yep.
So I detune my back tail spot specifically.
No way. Crazy.
And because I
Good
don't
to
feel
know.
like lip slides and stuff like that I'm going to catch on. The
Yeah,
way I
yeah.
do them is but a back tail, if you're doing it on a down flat, The way I do it is I put so much weight into my back foot that like I still don't trust that the 45-degree angle, once it hits that kink, I'm going to push through. So I'm like, I'm detuning at one point. I don't know. That's brutal,
smart.
though.
Yeah, no, wasn't great.
So then you get meat wagoned off the hill or what?
Yeah, so apparently, or from like my loose memory, I think I like kind of woke up and like walked into the sled. Or I don't really know if I walked into, I think I walked into the sled. And then they're just like, kind of like taking me down, and I'm like, you know how you're starting to come back to it? You're like tripping on everything. He's like asking me like, what month is that? I got no idea what month it is. I knew where I was, but I like didn't know what was like, what day, what year, what was going on. And like, yeah, got to the hospital and still like wasn't all there. I kept asking them if I was gonna die because they put that oxygen thing in my nose and I was tripping. So I was like, holy shit, I'm about to die. Like the homie starts like chirping me because I'm asking him so much. But yeah, no, it's pretty heavy. And like my mom's had she had like a crazy brain injury. Actually, she had 2 that like almost killed her when I was like a little boy. Like crazy shit. Like she was gone. Like didn't remember my dad or nothing.
What?
Or like none of us. And then so I was thinking about that. I was like in there, like, am I going through this right now? Like what's going on? But everything was okay.
How old were you when your mom went through that?
I think I would have been like first year of life, like first year or 2.
But you said it happened again. Did it happen
She had
later
another
on in
one,
life?
yeah, not as bad one, but later on, I think I would have been like 3, 4, or 5. We were skating at the skate park. I remember it actually. We were like at the park, and she like was swinging on a tree with my sisters, as you do, is they're all having fun, and like the tree branch snapped, and she whacked her head, and then we were just like, I was just there skating.
And it was just you and your mom and your sister.
And my dad was there.
Oh.
And the ambulance came, and it's like super lucid memory. Like she probably has a better story, but yeah, pretty heavy. So
Man,
we're pretty big family on the dome piece and protect the head.
yeah, good call. Good fucking call, dude.
Yeah.
Protect your dome piece. You know, do your thing. There's definitely people that are, you know, like lean into what works for you. I know a lot of people in the backcountry are repping mouth guards these days and stuff, but like, that's the big one for me. You hit terminal velocity on a ragdoll, you want to have a mouth guard in, which even still, I just, you want to land bolts and be like Jake Blauvelt and just land, really.
Just
Too many ragdolls are not good.
No.
Like,
No,
not
I can
at all.
imagine. Yeah.
Oh, man, that sucks. I'm sorry you're going through that. How do you feel right now?
I'm good. Yeah, like today was first day back, like hitting the big jumps and like trying corks and stuff. And I feel good. So the memory is a bit lucid still. Like certain things, I'm like, you got to like bring it up pretty like ask me about it for me to click into it. But
do you feel right now a little guilty riding? Like, should you be chilling on the bench a little bit longer? Did you talk to a doctor?
No, yeah, we had a physio who helped me, and we did all that like crazy testing and put me on the bike for like, I was just dying on the bike.
Okay, nice. So you went through it.
So
and
I went
you
through all
feel
the
better.
testing. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm all cleared.
Okay.
It's just like you just want to like feel right. You know what I was saying earlier? Like you want the body to feel right. It's like it's still hard sometimes.
I had a bad one 2 years ago. Seymour ECS Invitational, and Marty Vachon just took me out with the base of his board straight into my head. Dude, I thought
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was fine. Everyone said like, dude, you were out for a second there, like you were not fine, and I was like, yeah, I was fine, and I got really aggressive. As every brain injury or anyone who has ever been through a brain injury, they're all so unique because
you
know, you hit it on a different spot. That's totally a different part of your brain that kind of, you know, distributes things totally different, whether it's like your sense or smell or taste or feel or whatever, memory. So there's like wherever it hit me, it was like I got kind of aggressive. And then we were driving back. Rasman drove me back to Squamish, and halfway through, all of my limbs and my back just go like completely numb and tingling. And I was like, I just yell at Rasman. I was like, dude, I think I'm going paralyzed. You need to fucking get me to a hospital. And he drove like 165 or whatever down the Sea to Sky, and he's
looking Talladega Nights.
It was fucking nuts. Totally like shaking bait.
Yeah.
Gets me to the hospital, just like right in the front, and it's just like, this guy's going paralyzed. Like, you need to get him in there. They like rush me in there, and it turns out the doctor has seen this before. And when you get a bad concussion, your brain as like it tries to like cut off blood flow to your extremities because it's panicking. It doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So it just protects like your brain and your core. so it cuts off blood flow and circulation to your limbs or whatever. And I don't know. He's like, I've seen this before. You'll be okay. And it was like, but it was a rough, like.
That's so scary. Yeah, wow.
It was a rough recovery for that one.
I could imagine.
It was just like, so I was just in a daze for like weeks.
Dude.
And I was just like, I kept being like, this isn't the way I think. Like, think normally.
Yeah.
And you get so frustrated because you're like, is this normal or is this not normal?
Oh,
is this
yeah.
reality or am I back to normal? Like,
oh man, yeah, that's a pretty traumatic thing to happen. Like, wow,
yeah,
that's crazy. Happy you're good now.
oh fuck, you too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
seriously.
as bad as yours, but yeah.
Well,
Take care of the domes, people. We're a dome piece.
Yeah. So are you wearing a dome piece, like a Cody Williams dome piece, or are you just repping?
I don't have the helmet, but
got
I
the
ha-
sticker.
I have dude. I've been the sticker runner. Like I had one. I used to have a helmet that had like 8 dome piece stickers around the front of it.
Sick.
And now, I rep the dome piece. Shout out to Cody. He was a big influence.
Yeah.
Him and my mom became pretty tight actually,
Totally.
just from like their experiences, which is cool.
I mean, your mom, that experience is huge.
Yeah.
Especially like as a young, you're a young kid. It's tough for you to even understand that. But like for your dad to go through, and you have a
it's
big
insane.
family.
Yeah.
And your sister, she also went through some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, she's had like 25 surgeries or something. Like.
I went to her like documentary.
Oh
at
the Hope one.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Like an amazing film, and I didn't know that. Like Chelsea is pretty close with your mom, or to some degree.
Everyone
and
knows
so,
Julie. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, she is amazing.
Yeah, she's great.
And so we got invited to that movie, and we went and saw, and I had no idea. Well, A, I didn't know that was your sister, and B, I didn't know that she had been diagnosed with that. And it's fluid in the brain or something?
Yeah, it's like a fluid clog in the brain. And like, yeah, it just gets clogged. So she had to get like plenty of surgeries to get new tubes and stuff. And like, yeah, for young parents especially, like that's insane. Like I'm like 19. My dad was 21 when he had his first kid. And I'm like, that to be happening too. On top of that, you're 21. You're trying to figure out how to make money for a family. And like, that's happening. And then a couple of years later, my mom's things happen. Like, yeah, they're troopers, man. I love them both. They're great people.
If you're going to have to face like that type of adversity at that age, it's like that's a big learning lesson.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can just panic and freak out and not deal with it, or you're like, I have to learn, like sink or swim, kind of.
Dude, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, it's definitely like helped him shape who he is now. And all of them, like, luckily it didn't turn him the other way and just become like
totally
an angry, mad at the world guy. He's like, it kind of just made them super grateful for life almost. Like the whole family is just like lucky that we're all here together too, you know? It's like, it's pretty cool.
That's a really beautiful way to look at it.
Yeah. No, they're yeah. Now that I'm older too, I understand. Like, dude, as if you were just going through that. I'm here 19, living in your house still. Like, you're just killing it. Like,
yeah, shout out to Ben, dude.
Yeah,
shout outs
Ben
to your
and
old
Julie,
man,
yeah.
dude. Shout outs to Ben and Julie, man. But there's a couple families. I mean, well, not a couple. I think that every single family on Earth has to face some crazy shit at one point.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? It's not like unique to one person, but it comes in different sections.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people get hit with it early in life. Some people get hit it and later. Some people get it nicely sprinkled throughout all life. Some people get it hit it all at once.
Yeah.
And like you were saying there about your dad, it's just like, he's either going to like become a better person from this and try and look at the glass half full and try to like figure that out and digest it properly. Or he could get really mad at the world, resentful, and look at like the why me.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
like I look at like my fiance who's been through a lot.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about her, the thing that I was drawn into immediately is like she could so easily be like, you don't know what I've been through. Life is hard for me. Like, screw you. And that is just not her approach whatsoever.
Wow, that's really cool. That's like my mom too, I guess. Sometimes it makes like the happiest people.
Yeah.
Because they just like, they get how lucky they are to be here and they've been through those things like you mentioned. So.
Yeah, I mean, look at Anastasia. You lived with the Chomlaks for a while. Like Chad, who's a photographer for Natural Selection and just a great snowboard photographer, and their 2 kids, which are like absolutely phenomenal snowboarders. Jaden, who's out filming with Arthur Longo right now, and Caleb, who's the next best snowboarder ever.
Literally, honestly.
And then you have Anastasia, and you lived with them for a bit, and it's like, talk about a family that like looks at the bright side.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, my mom and Anastasia are like sisters. They're like best friends. So when all that was going down too, it was just like yeah, everyone's world was spinning. It's kind of like you said, it goes through phases, man. The world is crazy, and the universe is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
What it sends at you.
Yeah.
We're super lucky to have them too.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing family, no doubt. The Chomlacks and Ben and Julie, big shout outs.
Yeah.
For a young kid, you've definitely had to like face some crazy shit. You see your mom go through a traumatic brain injury, your sister going through like 21 surgeries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not easy at all. Like, to somebody who's younger who may be listening to this, do you have any advice for kids or adults that might be going through like challenging times?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I wasn't like, you're a kid. You don't really remember everything that's going on. You're kind of just la 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 la, like everything's just like gonna be okay as a kid. That's what you're thinking. You're like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. But advice would be, I don't know, like show love to the people around you. Like if I didn't have Caleb or Jaden or Anastasia at that time, like it would have been hard for our whole family. Be grateful for what you have, because that's a big thing, and just know that it does get better, 100%. Like I don't know, I like the sun is like gonna shine again. I like that one. It's like it's a hard day. Even I had a shitty day on the mountain the other day, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna get better. Like take a breath, lay back. It's just like we're talking about. It's just a period in time. Like just take a couple breaths and know that it will be okay. Hopefully it will be okay, but eventually it will be okay, I guess. We're going pretty deep right now.
I like it.
I feel like that's the best I could give.
No, that's
but like,
amazing.
yeah, I'm still so young. I still have so much to learn. Like giving advice is hard.
The one thing that I've realized sometimes is when I talk to young people, they don't think that they have the best advice, but they do have good advice.
It's true.
And when you get older, you almost start to like lean into your ways, or maybe even get jaded and think that a certain way needs to be the way that you think. And then it takes somebody that's younger, and it's like a breath of fresh air. You're like, oh, that is a unique way to look at things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I look at like politics right now. If we were to think like all the 80-year-olds on the planet, where would we be? You're not saying that they don't have some serious wisdom and some knowledge to share with the world. They've been through a lot too.
Yeah.
But there's young people, not all young people, but there's a lot of young people that definitely have good advice.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right.
And that advice was amazing. Like, press the reset button.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a good one. Like there will be some stormy days.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
the older you get and the more like you're kind of like in the thick of it sometimes. And I think that my fiance and I in the last little bit, like she just lost like a parent. And so like we've just been like through it lately.
Yeah,
like
wow.
just
Sorry to hear that.
the peaks and valleys. And you're just like, wow, life is so fragile and there's just so much to learn. And that the best way to look at life is just like, I'm just going to be grateful.
Yeah. No,
if you roll with the
100%.
gratitude perspective, it's a good angle.
It's no.
Like how
100%.
lucky am I?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I feel like too, it's like I'm so lucky to be from here and to be like having the people around me. So for me to say like it's going to be okay, it's probably hard for some people to hear, because I am so lucky to have this community and like everything that's around me is like they're supporting me,
That's a good angle.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Yeah, and that's the importance of community.
Yeah.
That in itself, what you were just touching on there, just goes to show like you don't get a place like Whistler without a bunch of like-minded people that are obsessed with the mountains, skiing, snowboarding, and it draws in a unique crowd that is there for each other through tough times.
Yeah, we're so lucky here. It's insane. Like the amount of people, like you said, like-minded people that are just here and like supporting each other and just like, backing everybody is so cool here. It's like no other place I've ever been. I mean, I'm sure there's other places like it, like Salt Lake's got sick community, I'm sure, but our community's pretty dope.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I mean, there's tons of like amazing communities, but now that I've been in Whistler specifically for 20 years, and it's just like I have so many friends that are 65 years old, and I have friends that are, architects, and I have friends that are super rich, finance people, and I have friends that are electricians and plumbers and people who don't have jobs, and I get along with all of them. I'm like, what is up with this place?
It's like a dream.
Yeah, totally. It is. Never land. Give it a shot. Come to Whistler. Okay. You're on the Canadian team, or you got cut from the national team, or what happened there?
No, I'm on it currently, but I did get cut.
Nice.
I got booted. Yes.
How'd you get the boot?
It would have been sick if I did something bad, but I was just shit at snowboarding for a little bit, and they were like, "You're getting booted."
Oh, no way. Not performing.
Well, so I was like, I think I was 16 or 17, and they made this thing called the prospect team. So they used to have teams where it's like the prospect team, the next gen team, the national team, and they're like, "We'll try a prospect team." So I got added to that. I was super hyped. It was me, a couple others, and then they kind of cut that program, but I ended up being like the only kid who didn't really make it to the next team. I think there was one other girl, and she just switched to like the Hungary national team, and then another guy who like they just put on pipe. Liam Gill, he's sick. And then I like got the call from my coach. I was in high school geometry class or chemistry class. Sorry, like I said, I'm not all there. And he was like, "Yeah, man, like so sorry, like you've been deselected." I was just there like, oh shit, dude, this is heavy. I'm 16, like or 17, about to graduate high school, and like just got told I'm pretty much not good enough. And then that kind of put me in that like, all right, frick you phase. Like watch this, and like kind of had a good season. Didn't really give a shit about anything, like life in general. Just like I was like so comfortable almost for so long, and then that kind of hit, and I was like, okay, like you got to turn it up. They're right, like you're not really that good or as good as you think you are, so you got to like go and work on this shit. And did that, had a couple good results, and got put back on the next year, and then moved to Australia with Caleb and Lane and Jackie for the summer, and just like turned it on, like learned a ton of new tricks, just like stopped, like my fear just like dipped. Like every time I was thinking, it was just like nothing's gonna happen, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna eat shit, you're gonna be fine, like there's nothing bad's gonna happen to you. And it was like 3 months of just like hucking my meat, like just like learning new shit, and like it was crazy. But it was a pretty heavy time when I got kicked off. I got pretty depressed and just like shit, like what now?
When you're that young, 15, 16 years old, and you get cut from something, and like you were saying, it wasn't a big bunch too. It was like you almost got selected out. Like it's like, oh, 40 of you are in, and not you, Truth. You're like, fuck. Like I thought I was pretty good, but it took that to happen for you. You said a year later you made back onto that team, and that must have been a whole fucking slew of fulfillment. Yeah. Like that must have felt good, and you deserve to be there now. Yeah. Like, do you think that you were a hazard chucking your meat, or was it calculated and you were getting to your feet?
I think it was a bit of both.
I love the honesty.
Like, we were all pretty hazards. I think I did like, I went up to we were like, I think we went partying the night before because it was our first time living alone. We were living it up. And we go up the mountain, and my friend Lane's there, and we're just chucking. I'm like, dude, I want to do a triple backflip right now. What? So he's like, yeah, dude, just do it. And so he's just chucking. I chucked a triple backflip, like eating shit, dude, and just like never landed it, but just like one of those things where it's like you just don't care. You're just gonna eat shit and hope to be fine. But yeah, luckily too, like my coach had like before I got on the team was like super like you don't need the team to be a pro snowboarder, all right? Like it's just a tool. So he kind of always made sure that like we weren't like, okay, once I make it on the team, I'm gonna be pro. It was like the team is a tool that will help you get to become a pro snowboarder. So if you have the team or you don't have the team, it's not gonna change the effect on your snowboard career. So when I got cut, great coach, Joe McAdoo, amazing coach.
Yeah, nice.
When I got cut, it wasn't like, all right, you got to quit snowboarding now. It's like, okay, like I'm not gonna have those same tools as I did, but I still have my snowboard, my boots, my bindings, Shmobb. Like it's gonna be fine. And then getting back on the team, it wasn't like a sick. Like I'm back to where I was. It's like, okay, I now have the tools again, where I can push my snowboarding further and further by using them to help me, which is cool. It wasn't like I'm lucky to have Joe because he helped me a lot through that.
I'm sure that the spiral would have been real when they told you aren't on the team anymore, and you start to like identify as a young kid that's like killing at snowboarding, and then your little chip on your shoulder that you had, and you're like, no, I'm part of the club. They're like, no, you're not. Yeah. You're like, what do you mean? Like, I want to be in the club. They're like, you're not in anymore. You're like, you're like, who's Truth then if I'm not in the club? Yeah. But then you kind of, redefine yourself. Yeah. Belzil's a great example of someone who's been an underdog for a long time. Great He's boarder. 43 now, 42. Yeah. Still going out doing 1080s on the big jumps. I seen that
yesterday. Yeah. Back 10 on call. What?
So sick. And he's like more than twice your age. But he's been an underdog for so long, and he is fueled by being the underdog. Like, I feel like that's how he gets off. It's just like people are like, he's like the sleeper, you know what I mean?
Sick,
But I feel like some people kind of live for that. They're like, you don't think I can hang? Jesus, I'm going to show you.
Yeah, watch this.
Totally. Triple backflip.
Triple backflip knee grab. No one's hyped on it.
Did you grab?
No, I grabbed my knees. I'll get you the clip. It was fuck, dude. It was fun though.
You see the triple front flip today on Torment?
Yep, dude.
Yeah.
Torment is posting the craziest stuff.
No, it's
right
all
now.
just like bails. It's
Yeah,
just like
all
viral.
in Japan too. They're just doing the craziest stuff.
It's because it's like the one ollie off of the dam is just like, what the hell are you thinking? Imagine being the filmer and photographer. Like, this is a good idea. You totally got this.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's almost as bad as Lane telling you to do a triple backflip and grab your knees. Looking back, you're like, dude, why did you tell me to do that?
Why were we doing that? It was like so foggy, dude.
Okay, you chalked up an NBD here. Where was that? Where, like, what happened here? Never been done.
I think.
Okay.
We were in Finland for our camp. This is like the first year I'm back on. So I still got that thing on my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to show these guys, like, watch this. And we're in Finland at Ruka, the most incredible place I've ever been. And I got Charles Beckinsale. I got him to like, it's like, yo, you should build a fat up rail. He's like, all right. And I was thinking about trying this like switchboard cab double 10, just because like I'm a slopestyle rider. I'm going to do flips off rails. You got to do it to compete. I'm sorry to anyone who's not down with flipping off rails, but you got to do it to compete. And I was like, yeah, I want to do cab board double 10, and just going into that up rail, I pull up on the first day. I'm like, I'm not hitting that fucker switch. That thing is humongous. It's like a 40-foot jump, and it's an up rail.
Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, this wasn't really what I was thinking.
Not really what I had in mind, but
all right. So yeah, I started doing like board slide backflips, and then I did like a board slide double backflip. It's kind of like a board slide double wildcat actually. And then I had kind of been thinking, I was like, dude, what if I just like did a back one out of it, and like kind of like a board slide double pretzel flip, as they call them. So one night I just kind of went to war with it and would go like board slide double wildcat late back one. Like can't see anything, dude. I'm just like waiting for the ground to hit. And then yeah, ended up just putting one to my feet. And you can kind of see in the clip, I'm like shocked. Like I'm out of no way, like, oh shit, I landed this. And yeah, the board slide double pretzel flip was it just shot me through the roof too. Like my whole life was just skyrocketed after that.
What do you mean it skyrocketed? What happened?
Or it kind of blew up, I guess. Like social media skyrocketed. Like people were hyped with the double pretzel flip. They're more just like, what is this guy doing, dude? It's like that jump off the wall. It's like, why is he going 2 times upside down and adding a 180? This guy's fucked.
That clip is messed, by the way. I've seen that clip, and it's bullets. And like, being the old head guy that doesn't like what you were just saying, like the cab
flips.
10 double flip thing, like it's not my lane.
It's fair.
But I respect the hell out of it, and there is a way to make it look good. Every trick, me and my friend Robin are going up the chairlift today, and all the tricks I thought were impossible to make look good. A back 3 nose grab. All like when I was a kid, that was like, you cannot make that trick. Like it all became reality. Every trick ever now can look good.
Yeah.
So, and the way that you do that clip is like, it's amazing. That is a banging double board slide pretzel flip. What was it called again? What did you name it?
That's pretty much it.
Call it the truth, dude. Just stand. It's called the truth.
The truth.
Cody69, actually, our Patreon, wanted to know, is your real name actually Truth? He's like, I don't believe him.
Every time I see him, dude. Yo, is that your real name? Dude.
I didn't know that.
Funny. Yeah, no, it is. Real name is Truth. But my Facebook name is Kennedy Smith, so it like throws people off guard.
Did you do that intentionally?
I was like, when I was younger, I played some video games on my phone. And like they needed I get like extra 5,000 coins if I connected Facebook. So I made a Facebook account, and I thought the game was gonna hack me, so I changed my name to Kennedy. It's my middle name. So I was like, I'm not gonna let them know my first name. And now I don't know how to change it to Truth. So everyone who I add on Facebook is like, dude, I thought your name was Truth. Like you've been lying this whole time. Who's Kennedy? I'm like, fuck, it's a fucking gamer name. Sorry.
Did it for the coins.
Did it for the coins.
Did it for the 500 coins. Yeah. What game?
It would have been like some super lame swipe or Flappy Bird game or something. I don't know.
Are you a gamer?
No, but I
When you did game,
I dabble.
Okay,
I dabble.
Dabble in what? What's the dabble?
Like shredders. It's like the snowboard game.
Oh, shredders?
You know shredders?
I know shredders. It's okay, but it's like it is the worst. It's just worse than Amp 2.
Yeah.
Have you played Amp 2?
No.
Oh my god, dude! It's just every snowboarder who's ever played Amp 2 is just like, please, just remake Amp 2. Maybe put a little bit of that EA skate into it, but like not too much of it. It's like you don't need to change much from Amp 2. It's like the grabs and the style in that game is exactly what you want to look like.
That's sick.
If you do like anything, really,
Yeah.
it's like really sick.
You should do that.
When I come off of a jump, I often think, look like you're an Amp 2. like Amp 2 is my inspo. Look, the game's right there. I have it right there, dude. That's Jeremy Jones on the front of that thing. Dude. Yeah. We haven't had Jeremy Jones button here, but I mean.
What's up with that 1 foot, though? The Ollie North.
I don't know if you can 1 foot in that game. I'm not a big 1 footer. What about you? Are you a 1 footer?
I don't do them.
Yeah.
But I respect certain people who do them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard. There's like a couple really good people, and then there's some people that just do it too much.
That is very true. What about grabbing inside the knee or outside the knee? That's big these days. It's big.
It all depends on the trick. And
Yeah,
I do
good
it
response.
on some tricks.
Okay,
Like
outside the knee on what?
Cap 7, I'll usually go outside the knee.
What? Cabs?
But I'll try to tweak it back, like a tuck knee, so it's like kind of okay to a point. I guess Japan, you can go inside.
Yeah, but a front 7. See, this is where we're at with that whole conversation I was having. A front 7 tuck knee has never been cool until today. like
I don't know if it's cool. I just do it.
no. The reason why you're on the show, dude, is because you're super cool. So,
Thank you.
whatever you're doing is cool, man. Just keep doing you.
All right, thank you.
You don't need to listen to a bunch of old guys who are like, in my day, we used to snowboard like this. And you're like, shut up. Shmobb.
The man boys, what? Dude?
Yeah, what? A bunch of old timers that ride snowmobiles. What are you doing?
No, we look up to you guys 100%. Like your edit you dropped the other day was like, I was like hitting the hip, and I was trying to do that front one where you stick your foot out, and I was like thinking, damn, Jody has these really sick front one pokes where he like sticks his feet out, kind of like a skateboard. And I was like, I'm gonna try these, and I just couldn't get it. And then you dropped the edit, and I was like, okay, that is exactly what I was thinking. Like that front one, front foot poke. I was like,
yeah, I don't know.
That's what you want.
I was actually, well, here, I'll let you in on a secret. I was trying to grab melon like that. That was the, you know what I mean? Because if you do the front 180 melon every once in a while, the best way to do it is when you do the melon, the board is flat.
yep.
So if you're doing a front 180 melon, at the point of the best bone, you want to be 90 degrees and you want to have a flat board, I
Okay.
think. Maybe nose dipped a little bit
little
down,
bit.
but like you don't want to have tail lower than the nose.
No.
It looks
Okay.
weird.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion.
No.
And I'm a judge at natural selection, so my opinion matters, apparently. So you have to listen to me. I don't know how I got that job back. I was just judging the duels again, and I was like, I'm back with Chad Otterstrom? Like, how did I get here?
Someone's gonna do a melon and just dip the tail. You're like, no,
No,
you're
he's
not
out.
making it.
He
Yeah.
clearly didn't listen to the Truth episode. What are your thoughts on contests these days? Are you going to lean into that lane with all of your might, or is that something you're going to do just for fun for a bit? Or
Yeah, no, it's they're insane. I don't know if you tapped into any slopestyle contests. It's
I
fair if you
watched
haven't.
X Games.
Yeah, X Games is another level. I want to put it all into competing right now, but I also am like, dude, I love to film and I love to just like not compete. So it's kind of hard to like find a balance right now of both. So I think where I'm at right now, I want to go all in, like into the competing world, because it's like the Olympics are coming up, so it's kind of like the time to like try to go for it. But also it's like this, like what's going down is insane now. It's crazy. Like all the tricks, all the runs, like the kids doing like 1800s, like in a run. It's not even like it's like a big air. It's like Red Gerard going back 18 in his run 3 times. Like it's like, oh shit, all right.
Thanks, Red.
Yeah. That's the limit. But yeah, no, I love it. I love it a lot. It's definitely like pretty stressful sometimes, but I've been like a little competitor since I was a kid, so it's like
It's in there.
it's in there, yeah. Like I really want to do it, and there's days where you're like, I'd rather just go hit a pillow line or ride some POW, but at the end of the day, I love doing it. So I'm gonna keep tapping into it pretty hard now, and then later on in life go the other way, backcountry, street, whatever, anything, side country.
I think that's a really, really good lane. I've talked about that on the podcast a lot, but I always say if I was younger, I would do 2 things. The first thing I would do is if I was riding rails in the streets, I would make the jump size really small so that everybody was actually excited about what you were doing onto the rail.
They're getting pretty high.
And then what I would do is if I wasn't riding rails, what you should be doing is jumping. And you should, at a young age, you should take your jumping to as far as you can go, whether not per se in contest, but just push it until you start slamming the carcass on the ground, like the triple backflip that you tried. And then when you get there, scale back a bit and then buy a truck and sled and ride power. But if you don't push yourself hard when you're young, you'll regret it when you get to like my age and you're like, I just want to do a switchback 9 off this. You know what I mean? But if it's muscle memory, it becomes easy.
Yeah.
Like I look at like a lot of my friends now that take huge stints off of riding, and they all the tricks that they really had that they perfected, like they can still do easily.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to learn as much as you can, because eventually you're not going to want to land sideways on your hip on a switchback 14. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you never want to, but like...
Yeah. No, we talked about that too once, actually. You told me, like, you got to keep going on the park for a bit longer before you switch. And
Don't,
like,
yeah,
that's good
don't.
advice.
19 years old, push for that. As long as... Well, which is the most important part we should touch on, is as long as you're having fun.
Yeah.
As long as you're
for sure.
As long as you're juiced on like what you're doing there and the community of people and like trying to maybe take home a W at Olympics, whatever, X Games.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's days where it's like harder for sure. You're like, I don't really want to eat shit, like you said. Like this trick's about to be heavy if I, but then you land the trick and you're like, all right, this is the funnest shit ever. Like let's keep going.
So what's your run right now? If you were going through a so you're at X Games.
Yeah.
Let's go top to bottom. Truths in X Games through that course.
Okay, X Games is like a hard one because I'd just go for it. Whereas,
well, let's talk about what you would do
if I would go for it, like rails.
Yeah.
What was the rail setup? 5 different.
Okay, let's just
options.
say the rail's like a flat down, a rainbow rail, and like a gap to down rail. And let's get to the jumps.
All right, flat down, rainbow rail. Flat down, I'm probably going. If I'm going for it, I might try to do switchback 2 pole. I suck at switchback 2 poles, but it's like it's X Games. We're here. I want to win. So we'll probably go. No, we'll go cab 2-4, maybe switchback 2 pole, and then a gap to down. Maybe we'll go. Fuck, that throws it off. Okay, we'll go hard way cab 2, same way on the top rail.
Okay.
And then we'll go back 2 same way on the middle, and then you'll do switchback 2 pole and do 3 jumps or 2 jumps.
3. It's X Games, baby.
If we're in X Games,
and we're doing the hip jump.
Oh shit!
The first one you're doing the quarter pipe into the landing.
Okay, I'll go probably dub crippler because that's all I got on those things right now.
That's
we
sick.
barely hit those, and then I'll try to go back 16 cab 14.
Have you done
I've
back
never
16?
done that line. I've done back 16 a couple times, but I've never done the link of the two because I haven't had an opportunity to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've been doing is the back 12 cab 14. But if I could do the back 16 cab 14, I probably still wouldn't even get top 3 with that run. But it'd be close. I'd be stoked to land a run.
Back 16, what grab?
Melon.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like Red.
Yeah,
Red. I literally watch his clips every night before bed.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like,
that is a student. That's how you do it, dude. If you're not first, you're last. Favorite contest riders in the game right now?
Tieron Collins. Big fan. I just love the way he lands. Everything is so incredible. Mia Brooks. I feel like that's just obvious answer. Who else we got? Frank Jobin, Canadian. I don't know if you've seen him. He's doing some crazy stuff.
Good style.
Great style. Who else we got? There's a lot of good ones. Rene. Oh my goodness. I got to drop behind him at Lax Open. And he's just so amazing. Everything about him is just, you're just up top. I can't wait to do my run now. This guy's got me stoked. And he goes and he like gaps from one lip to the other with like a board slide, but it's so sick. And then he does like his crazy butters and like Miller flips on rails. You're like, all right, dude, this is incredible. So I'm really hyped to watch him. Darcy too. He's fucking.
Yeah, great picks.
Yeah.
Rene was at Bald Face with us doing the risk maturity this year.
Yeah.
and just his like energy, his presence, his two filmers, like his vibe. It's just like that's what you want to be around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is
100%.
contagious. It's like you were saying, like you're at the top and you bump into Rene,
Yeah.
you're like, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
We're both gonna have, even if we lose, I'm gonna be at the bottom with Rene and we're gonna have the best time ever.
Yeah.
This guy's got the best vibes.
Greatest energy. Great dude.
Do you have a ritual before you drop in? Do you do some crazy shit?
Yeah.
Flick your eyeballs like 6 times or something?
Start blinking aggressively.
You know how like Andrew, I don't know if you heard about that, but Reynolds has to tap on shit 3 times
No
before he
way.
drops in. Yeah.
Crazy.
There's a lot of people that do that.
Actually, you know
Forget
what?
the
I
name
have
is.
that a lot with a lot. I'm an overthinker, like crazy overthinker. I'm trying to work on it actually. Yeah. But
Welcome to the club.
yeah. I was actually last night. I was like watching podcasts because I was overthinking this, and Mark goes, "Just your like best advice," and he's like, "Just don't overthink." I was like, "All right, putting the phone down. I'm gonna crush it tomorrow."
You are crushing
Start
it, dude.
thinking again. But yeah, I've been working on one with. We have like a psych coach of the team, which is sick. He's the best. His name's Chris Bertram, and he's like, all right, like try to get into like the flow state they tell you, which is like, you know, flow state. You've been in it. It's when you're locked in and like you're ready to go. And like what I've been doing recently is I'll like take a deep breath in, and then I'll like think about my whole run in my head, and then I'll slap my legs 3 times, like pretty aggressively to like wake him up, and then like boom, 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 strap my bodies and just drop. But I tried that at the last contest, and I was like, okay, there's kind of a lot going on. Like, it's taking, they're like, okay, you're good to drop. And then I'm like up there, breathing, fucking looking at my run, taking like 5 minutes. And they're like, you're still good to drop. Like, get going.
I'm not done my drum beat yet.
Yeah.
They're like, you gotta go.
TV time.
If you take too long, is there like a cutoff? Like,
I haven't experienced it, just because I'm stressed about it happening.
yeah.
But there is some homies who are up there, like, they're like, okay, you're good to go. And I'm like, all right. And they're like finding a song, like getting ready. But I haven't seen it happen.
Do the majority of people listen to music up there?
Yep. Most riders do. I don't yet. I did today, but I don't at contest. I don't know why I haven't. Probably should.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll win if I listen to music. But all the best guys are doing it. That's probably a...
Does McMo?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't...
He's the best in the world.
He is the
He's-
best in the world.
it's like, who's
I
the,
still get
who's the
nervous
best?
talking to him.
Really?
I'm not at the phase yet where I'm like, yo, you listen to music? Yo, that was sick, Mark.
Yeah, totally. Like, nice to see you, dude.
Yeah. He's like, how you been? I was like, oh, shit.
He's talking to
He's
me.
talking.
Look cool.
Yeah.
Triple backflip.
Triple backflip knee grab.
Lane, what should I do? Triple backflip. 100%. Chalk it up. Let's go.
He's going to be stoked.
Oh, man. What are your thoughts on the contest world right now? Like, are you juiced on it? Do you think it's a little redundant? What
I think it's...
are your vibes?
I think it's cool. I don't know. I think there's a space for everything. And people are saying it's like getting too much, but I mean, 5 years ago when people were doing 14s, people were saying it's getting too much. It's like, I don't know. It's definitely getting pretty crazy. Like there's a lot of spinning going on. I definitely would like to see some like Charles makes some really cool courses where it's like kind of smaller jumps, more jibs. I love to jib. So I'm like hype when there's 2 jumps only or like 5 jibs and 2 jumps.
I love that you call it jibbing.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, fuck. Is jibbing an illegal word?
No,
you
it's
and
not
Craig
illegal.
talk about it, didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
There's no, dude. There's a movie called Jibbing with Jeremy Jones.
All right,
And the original name was jibbing. Like all of like the old like ride guys, it was
Yeah.
like you would jib the mountain.
Yeah.
So
okay.
like you're paying
I feel like
homage.
you and Craig talked about that though. Did he say that was an illegal word?
He might not use jibbing. I don't really use jibbing either. I like to call it like steel or stunts or whatever.
All right.
I like steel. But
okay.
I like jibbing. No. Please keep saying jibbing. You're 19. It's a good look.
All right.
You don't got to do what Craig's doing.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's fun. I think there's like.
So you want to go beyond the 2160?
No. Let's cut the 20.
Well, that's where we're at.
Let's keep those out.
What
I
did
don't
you
think-
think of that 2160 that got done?
Which one? Like the
first one, the backside one
Oh,
by
that was Hiroto.
Hiroto.
Dude, he is so sick. It's just like all the Japanese team are all so happy and they're just the best. But I thought I was shitting myself because I'm like, I'm never gonna do that, but I might have to do that. So wait, what's going on? But I respect it, I guess.
What did you think of the one that he did? The first one,
I thought it was pretty fucking good, dude.
the double hand drag.
Was it double hand drag?
He kind of slaps both hands.
Oh, it doesn't count.
I don't know. In my eyes, I was like, if that was my camper, as much as I would be really happy to say that you landed your back three, I'd be like, you didn't do it. His couch erupts when he lands it. He's like, yes. And I was like, I would have been
We're
like,
getting paid.
the reason why I should be the coach of whatever the team is like, I would have been like, you didn't do it. Like, a double hand drag?
We gotta
Come
get
on.
you up there. The Japanese head coach, Jody.
I just know
Yeah.
that he could have done better.
Yeah. No. It's just the way he spun it was really good. Like, I found the last one that wasn't done. I wasn't that hyped on the way he spun it. Because it's kind of just like
Access.
grab the tail and pull it to your nips and just like twirl until you think you're ready and then let go for 360.
Oh, yeah, that tornado was really tough
Yeah,
on me.
It's not my favorite. I respect him for doing it. Like, that's savage. Good on you. I'm not doing that.
Totally.
But yeah, I think we could leave that out of slopestyle.
I wouldn't be putting that sequence in my room. Like, if I had a sequence of Devin doing a switchback 5 and a sequence of that tornado tail grab, I'd go Devin all day.
Well, I don't think they could capture it, to be honest. What, the sequence is going to be 21 pictures long?
Maybe longer. I don't know.
No, for sure, though. Yeah, Dev is incredible.
Big time. What's one of your worst injuries you've had to overcome?
It wasn't like a bad injury, but overcoming it was pretty hard. It was my collarbone last year.
Oof.
I busted it at Calgary World Cup in training of my first semifinal.
What in training? What did you do?
Dude, I was doing a front 1080 melon and like caught a snow snake and just like straight to collarbone.
Oh, on a snow snake on the takeoff or the landing?
Landing. So I like landed it, toe edge down, and like it caught and just flew me.
Oh, did you do the Mons Roisland
Yeah.
kind of the toe edge catch?
But he holds it.
yeah, he's good at those.
Yeah,
Like when
he's
he
incredible.
bites into the snow, it's sick.
Dude, I know exactly. Yeah, he
Yeah.
like he stomps it.
Yeah.
I tried to do that.
Yeah.
But I guess my core
didn't
or
work out
something.
for
Yeah,
you.
it didn't work out for me. But that one was hard because I was like I said, I was just going up. Like I felt like I was on a high. Like came back from Finland, started to get World Cup spots, like landing runs, made my first semifinal, like with a pretty good run. And then it was just like, oh shit. Like now you gotta go 2 months, 3 months, no riding, peak season. Like people are hyped on you. Now they're not gonna know who you are. Like I got super scared and in my head. And coming back from that was even scarier because it's like, I don't want this to happen again. You know, it's like, you don't even want to fall. But that was like the biggest one so far.
When you're 19, just remember that everyone who's listening to this is like, you got your whole life ahead of you, buddy.
Yeah.
You're like,
was like
what if
18.
I fall on this run? It's like, you're 18. Who cares? But to you, it's like everything.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
get it. I've
Yeah.
been 18. And so, and for that broken collarbone, have you been to the Scandin Spa?
Oh, dude, I was actually waiting for this.
Yeah, that's why you came on
Yeah.
the show.
You're like, you want to come? I was like, okay, I'll take the spa pass.
There you go,
Thank you,
boss.
man. I appreciate
go,
that.
do some ice and some heat and
Oh, that's actually
work on that
incredible.
thing. Yeah, enjoy.
That place is rad. I love that place.
Have you been before?
I have been.
Yeah, it's
But
nice.
I get pretty frothed in that. I gotta go for like a whole day though. John Martin tells me, you know him.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows John Martin. He's got like the hookup there, and he's like, dude, you gotta read a book, you gotta chill. I think I went with him my first time. My mom was like, here's your birthday present. You're going with John. He's showing you the routes because he goes like every day.
I like to do like a 5-hour session.
That's what I want to do.
Like 4 or 5 hours. I go in there and then I like first I do the steam, the eucalyptus steam, and I love eucalyptus. Like I was like 31 when I first smelt eucalyptus. Like we don't have that in the suburbs of Winnipeg. Eucalyptus? Like no, it's like Dove vanilla and stuff like that. And like, you know, like holiday smell. Like what is holiday smell? But it smells great. But then you come out here to BC, everything's like sage and oak and fucking like all the candles are made with like natural scents and stuff like that. And you're like, oh fuck. Eucalyptus is incredible. Anyways, I start with eucalyptus, then I work my way down. But
Yeah.
it's incredible.
it is great. Yeah. I like the hot and cold they got, the mix.
Oh, yeah?
You just run back and forth.
I mean, that's what's in right now.
Dude,
you know?
cold tubs are in.
Everybody is cold tubbing. Everyone's posting about it. I don't care, but I'm happy that you can go into the cold water.
I post about it.
Your edits are probably sick. It's just more so that like whenever I see somebody in the cold water, they film themselves talking when they're in it, and it's like, if you're making fun of yourself or something, it's funny to me. But if you're just like, a motivational speaker, and a lot of my friends that are doing it have like 400 followers, and they're acting like they're fucking Tony Robbins or some shit.
David
like,
Goggins.
Yeah, totally. It's like, dude, like you're talking to your mom, your grandma, and 8 people from high school right now. Nobody like just because you quit drinking doesn't mean like you're like calm down. I don't know.
No, I feel that.
But I'm in full support of people who are quitting drinking, just so there's not somebody on here that's triggered right now. Like, hey, that is a journey, and it is.
No, yeah, mad respect.
Okay, we got some old head questions here presented by Baldface. Have you been to Baldface?
No, I haven't.
Try.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a lot of money, but that'd be really cool to go.
Yeah, it's an expensive trip, but it's worth it if you're into powder, snowboarding, the history, and if you want like a genuine, unique experience that you'll remember forever with a group of friends.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Chalk that up on your bucket list, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll kind of work through these like 9 questions to see. These should be standard, but
I'm gonna take my sweater off. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I feel like it's about to get hot in here.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. A couple questions here. They're called the old head questions presented by Baldface because everybody that goes to Baldface is an old head. And I know Jeff is too. And these are fairly simple, I would say. But we've been joking around like, oh, maybe you'll do some interning for airtime. Like, if you don't win the Olympics, you might need a job. So, here we go. You might be here with me. So these are pretty easy, but if you don't know any of them, like I don't know if you can have the job. But at the same time, if you don't know any of them, I don't blame you because you're 19.
Shit.
Okay.
I'm pretty nervous.
First question. Who started Burton Snowboards?
Oh, Jake Burton?
Nice. Okay. Off to
Dude, if I didn't get that one.
Yeah, I know. This is that if you didn't get that one, this would be awkward as fuck for you.
Yeah,
there'd be some people like on the other end that are listening to this like, fuck that kid.
Canceled.
All right. Which pro started Forum Snowboards?
Peter Line?
Correct. Oh, I didn't think you were going to get that one.
Is it
okay.
Pete Line or Peter Line?
Peter Line.
Peter Line, okay.
The iconic Forum team had blank amount of riders on the pro team. Also known as the Forum
8.
Nice.
I thought you were going to make me name all of them.
Well, that was the next question.
Oh, shit.
I like that you know about the Forum 8, though. 19 When were you born?
2004.
Yeah, so when the best group of the Forum 8 like dissipated, you came into the world at 0.
My dad was like, you got to know these 8 guys.
Okay, so do you have any idea of any of the... Can you get 4 of them?
JP Walker. Jeremy Jones.
Correct.
Peter Line. Oh man, I should have 4. Mikey LeBlanc, was he a Forum 8?
I was pointing at the Devin Walsh poster.
Oh fuck! I thought you wanted that one. Devin Walsh. Oh wow, I should have known that. That's really bad.
No, it's not that too bad.
We talked about this the other day too. I
don't think you're gonna get the other ones based on your face. It doesn't look like you know anything right now.
All right, we'll hold it at that. I think.
We were looking for Bjorn Linus.
Oh, fuck. We talked about
Ville Lumela.
I wouldn't have got that.
Yoni Malamy. And I think the AM team at that time would have been like Nate Bozung, Travis Kennedy, Pat Moore, Jake. I don't know about Jake Blauvelt. And then Andrew Jeeves and Jed Anderson.
No way. Jeeves was on there. No way. Crazy.
I think 2001.
Wow.
He got on them. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
So in their
known
prime. You were in the negatives there.
Yeah, I was in the sperm.
You were in the sperm still.
All right, everybody calm down. I forgot. Chris Duffy. I'm sorry. Let's continue this podcast. Won't happen again.
All right. What boards did Simone Chamberlain ride for?
Oh, DC? Fuck.
Sean Johnson started this board company. Joe Sexton rode for them. JP Walker. They're out of business. John Martin loved them. John.
Oh, stepchild?
Correct.
Sick. JP Walker rode for Stepchild?
Yeah.
No way.
Forum.
And Joe Sexton. Wow.
Yeah. It was like before your time, but there was like people, cheers. There was some later videos that came out, and it was like the 3 of them. Anyways, you don't even know this stuff. I can't believe how old I'm starting to feel. Danny Cass started a glove company called...
I don't know. I know his toque company, Dover.
That's pretty cool, though.
His glove company.
Glove.
Oh, no.
They had like grenades on them.
Oh, fuck. I'm blowing it. I have the logo in my head.
They were called
They used to give those out at little contests we did. I was always hyped on them.
Grenade Gloves was the answer with the
Oh, you
grenade
gave
logo.
it to me. You said
gave it to
grenades.
you.
I was like, it definitely doesn't have grenades in the name. You kidding me? I'm blowing it.
Yeah, that's like my favorite company ever, so you might not be getting a job here. All right. Okay. This is like a little bit later, but and I don't know if you're going to get this one, but you did say the switch back 270 pull. Who was the first person to do the back 270 pull?
Is it Jay?
He's French-Canadian. He's a little bit taller. He's also known as one of the best rail riders
Is
of
it
all time.
Louis?
It is Louis.
Yeah, that's good. He's incredible. When he was here at that Ashbury thing, he was like the one. All of those people are sick, but he was the one guy I seen on the email list, and I was like calling everybody. Like I'm like, yo, Caleb, I'm about to go chill with Louis. Check me out. Like almost like sent some photos of me and him, but I was like, I should calm down a little bit.
That makes me so happy that there's still people that like, especially Louis, because you look at his social media following. I commented the other day on this, and I look like a loser, but whatever. It was like, it's mind blowing to me that Louis has like 15,000 followers. His impact for like 20 video parts is felt for like 3 generations. And he has like such a small following that is literally like the most core following of snowboarders ever. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I hope brands don't get too confused about that. It's like Louis' value is still well into the 7 figures.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Someone's got to give him $1 million contract.
Yeah. Please.
He is.
If he's not having
It's
one.
ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
Justin Hosnick was the mastermind behind what films?
I feel like really bad for not knowing these.
Well, I won't.
I might blame it on the concussion. If
This is good. I won't even. I might.
Mac. No.
No, that would have been MacDog.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck, dude. His name is the production company.
Absinthe
Let's take
Films.
that. Oh, I could have guessed that.
Yeah, totally. Name one iconic jump in the Whistler backcountry.
Oh man, Tosh would be pissed at me right now.
Dude, you're 19. It's all good.
The perfect jump. That's got to be one.
That is one.
Yeah.
There you go. 100 points right there.
Yeah. Rasmus does some cool 1080s on that jump.
Rasmus does.
Yeah. Have you 1080'd?
Have I 1080'd perfect jump? No, Mikey Rentz did that, so I decided to leave that alone.
You can have that.
Shots fired. All right, old head. I think you did good at the beginning.
I got one.
Yeah, I think you got 1 or 2. Not
Sorry.
bad.
Sorry, everybody.
So it looks like maybe this is a good point to be like, do people your age consume videos? And
You know what? We actually do. Like I still
lot of the
watch
new
a ton of
stuff?
videos. It's not like the same where it's like you're putting on a video and you're watching it on repeat.
Yeah.
It's more like we'll tap into one and we'll be like, dude, this is so sick. Like we suck for not being able to do any of this stuff. Like look how far behind. Like they've been doing this for 20 years and we're trying to film a video part. Like this is what we want to be at. It's just not like I said, it's not like we're watching it on repeat, or I'm not watching it on repeat. Not all of them at least. But we'll watch all the new age videos.
Yeah,
there's a lot that came out.
There's
this
a
year. Holy
lot
shit.
that came out this year. Do you have a couple favorites that came out in the last couple years?
Evergreen was really good. Vans makes a lot of good movies. Evergreen, Landline, like Cole Naven is him and Sam Taxford were like my 2 favorite.
Nice, good
guys.
picks.
He's just actually Naven is insane.
Yeah.
And then Melter 3. I don't know if you watched that one from the Finnish crew, Henne and Rupe and them.
Yeah,
So sick.
yeah, that one was really good. Hexagon was really good.
Yeah.
There's there was
Dustbox have been doing good.
yeah, totally.
I think Dreamcastle was probably like one of my more favorite ones.
The
from them.
second one?
I think so.
Yeah, the
Maybe
second
it
one was
the
my
first
favorite.
There was one that was like, dude, that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are probably my favorites.
Yeah, good picks. I mean, Cole Naven. I've heard some of the greats talk about how he's kind of underrated almost. Like he doesn't get brought up enough. There's definitely a couple riders I've been thinking about. Like Alec Allstring is another freakishly talented snowboarder that doesn't get brought up. I think he's kind of like before Rene, there was Alec. Kind of not a great comparison, but
I could see that
because Rene's got like
people,
different humans, but that raw European talent that was mind melting. Yeah, absolutely wild. Favorite event to go to right now?
Oh man, I got to go to the Lex Open for the first time, and that was like my top tier list. So that was
Who's
cool.
there?
That's like probably the biggest World Cup you can go to right now, because it's like it used to be like the biggest paying one. Like as a kid watching it, it was like the U.S. Open, the Lax Open. Like you want to be at one of those, or it's like, in my opinion, it's like X Games, and then the Lax Open. So it's like
Cool. I didn't know that.
Most of the top dogs are there. Like you got Sven Thorgan, Red Gerard, the best snowboarder, one of the best slopestyle snowboarders right now. Cleveland, Mons, Rene. Tons of Canadian up and comers. Like there's some hogs there. I was tripping actually. I still like fanboy over everybody at every event. Like some of the boys actually dog on me. They're like, dude, it's chill out. I'm like, dude, do you know who I'm sitting next to right now? Like, Mark McMorris is right here. You know, like
Totally.
So yeah, that event was crazy because it's like all my favorites on a sick course with sick people. Yeah.
Okay, who were the standouts when you went there? Who did you think was going to do good and that maybe blew it, and who actually showed up? No, maybe don't throw any people under the bus. You're too young. Don't burn any bridges.
I blew it. Standout, Liam Braley won it. Liam Braley, great snowboarder. Actually, I'd put him as like a top 5 slopestyle snowboarder right now. That not many people know that. Just because he's like a mini Marcus Cleveland. He can just do everything. And like, I actually sometimes get pissed because I'll be trying to like back 16 for a couple attempts, and he'll just be like, "Oh, yo, like check this out." Just like do it first try. I'm like, dude, how? He killed it. Cam, my other homie, got 3rd. He killed it. Standouts. Frank Jobin landed the first switchback double rodeo 12. Makes no sense. I know you're looking at me like, dude, that's not a trick.
Jesus. I'm imagining me flying off that jump, trying a switchback rodeo 12. And just like how injured I would get, like with such small air awareness that when I rotate over a 9, it is like the scariest day of my life. There's only been one time I went to 12, and it was like horrifying. I was like, "Where am I? Help! Help!" Like,
Did you put it down?
No, I landed on my back. I think I might have landed to my feet actually. It's around somewhere, but it was off a step down, so it wasn't really
gnarly.
like. Yeah, it
way
was
gnarlier.
super. I was trying to do a front 10 and just like way too much juice.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Indy, so like or maybe it was mute.
Front 12 Indy.
No,
Holy.
front 12 mute. Sorry,
Damn.
that's right. And that's why
Were
my
you
access
going
went.
for 10? You're going double?
Yeah, I was going front 10 double.
Oh, you would have been
And then
lost.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
the clip is somewhere. Maybe I'll put it on the YouTube video. Just a big old backdrop, a hot tub time machine right there. Yeah, that was not one of my strongest moments out there.
Fair.
You said you want to push into this slopestyle world. You can't only have 116. What's the first 18 you're gonna try?
I'll probably try cab 18 or back 18, because I've been watching Red's back 18 a lot, so that seems like the one that makes the most sense to me.
What kind of day do you need? Does it need to be the birds out, good cup of coffee in the morning, perfect breakfast? Or is it just like, you know, one of your friends is going to be like, Caleb's going to be like, you should try back 18 today.
It's got to be like, I'm on the gondola and I'm like, okay, this is the day. Like, it could
way.
It could be Bluebird, or it could be like
Premeditated.
Yeah, like I got to be like waking up or almost the night before, dude. Like I stress the night before when I'm about to try a new trick, because usually you're like, and like,
It's like boiling inside you.
yeah, like when I first tried my first back triple, I like couldn't sleep because I was so scared. I was like, they're like, you got this, you can do it. And like, not even like 12 hours before I'm about to do it, I'm like trying to get into flow state. But yeah, it'd have to be a pretty bluebird day. Probably on a Charles back and sail jump, just because I'm spoiled with his jumps.
True.
But yeah, that'd be fun to try one. It'd be crazy to try one.
Yeah, totally.
That's a lot of spinning.
That's certified mind-blowing. Like, would you want to try that onto an airbag first?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
Is that like?
Yeah, I would.
It's so anytime you learn an extra 180 or you go up to an extra cork, you would like the airbag.
Yeah, I've definitely been using the airbag a bit. Like in the summer when we go to Australia, since we don't really have one in Canada, you can't really like do it mid-season like most, like maybe not most people, but some people have them like year round. But we go to Australia and we'll like put some time, and I'll try a lot of tricks like during that time, so that when it's season we can like have at least a general idea of what's gonna happen. But most of it, like for those bigger tricks, it's mainly in the takeoff and like where you end up off those first couple spins. Because like I tried a back 16 this year, and I like went like back 16 and just threw my arm fully down, Like when I do them, I'm trying to go flat, and I threw it down, and I just started flipping, and was like at like 10, like, oh, you just gotta go, and just like whip my head back to like back triple 14, and luckily I was fine and like figured it out after that. But yeah, you need to have the takeoff so dialed.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I mean, like when I leave the takeoff, I know if I'm going to screw up a 360. I could not imagine the terminal, like the G forces that you're building. Anything over a 12, really, it's like,
yeah,
like you are fucking building up some G's in that moment because you're only getting like 2.5. Like, what's the biggest jump that you're hitting? Maybe 2.5 seconds of air.
Probably, yeah. I don't
like
really
something
know. I'm not counting. I probably should count. It'd be easier. Yeah,
2.5 seconds.
2.5, and there was a big one this summer that was probably like 2.5 to 3.
Yeah, and that you're flying like an eagle, and that whole time, if you're going back 16, whew.
Yeah.
So your run needs to be what? What do you need to improve on so you can take home the glory? Do you think? So if you dial in that back 16, then you learn a cab 18.
That could be pretty ill. I'd have to get better at the cab, but that and then having the front 14 dialed probably and switchback. I need to get better at switchback. I've kind of like been skipping it my whole life, but
that's why you did the cab 3 earlier today.
That's why I did.
That was that you started right out of the gates.
Yeah.
You're like, got to work on my cab 18s. Yeah. Better start this with a flaily cab 3. Whatever.
Yeah.
Does your homie Caleb at all jump into airbags? I feel like he's on to some street shit these days.
Guess I'm about to expose him here. No, in the summer we like, we did it. Yeah, we were. He wasn't doing it as much as me because he's not bagging. He's not bagging, but he like was trying to do a back double 10.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you've seen that. Caleb did a back double 10.
I did.
It was perfect. He's like the first guy I know who did a back double 10 and couldn't cab underflip. We were tripping.
Oh wait, is that how you link them?
That's how you link them. Yeah, it's back 5 cab underflip, and he like never did the cab underflip, and he had did like the most perfect back double 10 I've ever seen. But he probably hit the bag like 3 times. I don't know. He's not really hitting the bag.
I went to Momentum this summer and
you hit the bag.
We did a full day on the bag, and it was raining, and I did a backflip. And it was like then all the water like pooled into me, and then I was like, well, I'm already wet, so I was trying like these like wildcat tail grab tweaks or something like that, and
kids are probably stoked.
Nah, it never really looked that cool. I don't know if they were. I like coached for 1 week there, and I was like, which I love coaching.
Yeah, it's fun.
But like, fuck, it's just like when you're jumping into an airbag that's filled with moisture, you're like,
it's so wet.
Oh, it's so wet. You're like, I don't care how much I'm getting paid right now. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to go down and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, after that too, you got a gondola ride down.
Totally.
Make sure you don't lose any kids.
Have you coached before?
I coached this summer.
No. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't think we ever did any together.
No,
I had a blast. Momentum is not dying, but the glacier is dying.
Yeah,
but it's really fun.
Momentum is booming.
Yeah,
the glacier is dying.
Yeah,
or it has been like not being. It hasn't been as good as it used to be. I mean, did you get a couple years ever at Camp of Champions?
I think 1 day in COC, maybe a couple days. Dude, the last summer was about to happen. My dad got me in. Like we paid to get me in. I was like, yeah, dude, this is the sickest thing ever. I'm about to go for a camp week, and then they canceled it. Didn't get any of our money back. Just fucking nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was probably a bit of a punch to the gut for Big Benny. I was too young to realize what was going on. I was like, I don't get summer camp. What?
Yeah, like your dad, I want to go there. He's like, I want my money back. Like you don't understand. Like I can't get this back.
Yeah. But I got a day in there, I think. There's a video of me, Caleb, and Jaden doing like back threes on one of the jumps. It was pretty fun.
When you would have been, what, 7 years old?
Yeah, I would have been like probably 10, 11 at that 11.
point. Was there any notable figures when you went there? You're like, damn, there's Torstein or something.
Ooh, there would have been a couple. Darcy was one of the big ones when I was going. And he was like, I was younger, so he was like the big dog. And
I think of Darcy as so young. It's so funny to me. You're like, and I was looking up to Darcy.
There would have been other guys there that I just didn't clue into. Dude, Frank Bourgeois and I were sessioning this kink.
No way.
I think me and Lane were both trying to do it, and we were both eating shit, I think, but we learned it eventually, and I was like, that's that's fucking cool. That's why if Camp of Champions had been like still going, that would have been sick to be able to like ask a pro, hey, how do I do this?
Totally.
You know? But having that was a pretty big memory.
Now you just have to freak out the night before and figure it out in your head while you're slowly pausing Red's videos. Like, only he worked at camp so I could talk to him.
Exactly.
Just alone in your bread like, okay, he dips his shoulder like... But that's how you kids learn now, right?
No. No,
like
100%.
Like you
You
go
have to.
frame by frame that
Yeah,
shit.
that's actually one of my New Year's resolutions to try and watch something every day. I haven't been getting it every day, but I'm like trying to like stay on like as much as I can. I'll be like Tosh, like me and Tosh live in a bunk bed that's like a loft together now.
Cool.
And I'm like, dude, how does he spin this way, Tosh? And he's like, dude, how does he do that? And we just like nerd over like these crazy clips.
Like hand technique at the beginning and stuff.
like where his shoulder goes, where his head spins. We're just like,
I've heard about like butt cheeks clenching.
oh,
things.
that's the Ontario term.
Oh yeah,
That's how
what's
they-
that one?
It's like
For backside spins or something?
yeah, there's maybe cab for me. That's what they
Okay.
were trying to tell me. They're like, clench your cheeks before you go off the takeoff. And I was just like, that does not sound right. Like I'm just, it just feels weird. Right? I'm trying to do it right now, and I'm like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I just did it too. I was like, do I need to? I clenched and then I was like, is that how I should be spinning cab right now?
Yeah, it doesn't really. That one didn't make sense to me, but I understand. Like, yeah, whatever works for you works, I guess.
You brought it up a couple times, but Shmobb, what is Shmobb?
Shmobb.
We've yelled Shmobb a couple times.
Shmobb.
So what is this?
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's people or snowboarders, kids of snowboarders who like kind of became brothers and then became family through snowboarding. It's a group of people who became family through snowboarding. We started as Grom Nation. I don't know if you ever heard of Grom Nation.
I remember.
Yeah, we were like 10, 11, 12, and we were just like little Groms chucking meat off small jumps. People are hyped on that. And then we like turned kind of 13, 14. We're like, okay, we're not really Groms anymore. Or no, like 15, 16 maybe. So we switched to like 3 different names. We called ourselves Bruh Nation at one point.
Bruh Nation?
Yeah, because Lane like just moved to Whistler and he liked to use the word bruh. Like, what up, bruh? So we're like, yo, let's go. This Bruh Nation, sickest name ever. It's not dope. So we switched that and couple times, and then we ended up on Shmobb.
How did
like,
Shmobb? Who said
Dude,
Shmobb?
yeah, it's like, what does that mean?
But who said it?
It would have been Lane, because Lane has his own lingo. If you ever talk to him, he'll be like, him and Dabbl will be speaking in some crazy language that you're hyped on. It's sick to listen to. But they're like, they made like a YouTube edit called like Shmobb Volume 1. I assume it's like Snowboard Mob, maybe. That makes sense.
Snowboard Mob.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then it's just like, we're like, yeah, we got to find a new name. This name sucks. And then we didn't find a new name. And we were kind of like, dude, Shmobb's kind of weird and kind of sick. And we're pretty weird. Like, it kind of fits. So, yeah, it's just like boarders who love to snowboard together. And like, we're all like family now. Like I said, like, those dudes are like the best. And like, the reason why we're all where we am is because of each other. Yeah, so that's Shmobb. Shmobb's like a mini Man Boys, I guess. Except we just ride park. We don't do the hard work in the backcountry. We just post Instagram reels.
Love the honesty. Who came up with the logo?
Caleb. We don't really have a logo, but Caleb is like so like artistic and like he's so talented with like the way he like thinks and draws, and you can see it in the snowboarding. But he does like all our designs, just because like like this little. I'm pretty sure these, like, the air hole, I don't know if people can watch and see, but the air hole letters are, like, photos of twigs that he, like, bushwhacked this summer while working.
Sick.
And he just, like, put them on. But, yeah, he does all the designs. He's killing it.
So who's in the crew?
Like, the core crew, I guess, I'll say.
Yeah, just the core crew and then maybe the extended family.
Extended? All right, core would be, like, me, Lane Weaver. I'll say full names. Caleb Chomlak, Tosh Kroskoff, Dabbl Kleb McClellan. Keenan Demchek.
Sorry, what was it?
Yeah, Dashl's name is impossible to spell. Like every time we drop
go,
a YouTube,
go again.
Dabbl Kleb McClellan. He'll be mad at me for messing this up. Just kidding.
So sick.
Yeah, Keenan Demchek. He's a Winnipeg. You know Keenan.
Yeah.
You know the Demcheks. Finn Finestone. Those are like the core. There's like a couple other homies like Brendan. Sven Sandal. He's in there.
Dang.
And then like Jacob, a couple newcomers. This is like people. We'll just make edits.
Who's your protege?
Oh man, it's hard. In like which direction? Because I mean,
know.
Caleb is like he's street direction. He's about to freaking blow the world up.
Yeah, yeah, totally. He's unlocked a level this year.
Exactly.
For sure. He kind of looks like when he's riding around the hill, he looks like he had his own thing, but he mixed that with Coulter, which is maybe one of the sickest.
Coulter is sick.
He looks like Coulter Hurd, who was
yeah.
filming all the Mountain stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that jacket he's wearing with the drawing on the back and shit is like Coulter was wearing that for 2 years. And when I first saw Caleb the first couple days, I was like, wait, is that? I thought it was Coulter from the
No
chairlift.
way.
And then I was
I
like,
can see that.
like they kind of have similar style. And that's a huge compliment. I'm just like, Coulter, like,
he's so
unless you are like a big student and you live in the Sea to Sky, you don't even know who he is. You know what I mean? He's like you just don't know. You're like, who is that kid who just looks better than everybody? It's like, oh, that's the filmer.
Yeah.
It's always the filmer that's the sickest rider. It's always like, and it's stressful to film with a filmer that's better than you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's like, you going to land this backside 7?
You want me to do it?
You want me to do it? Like, get out of the way.
Yeah. No, Caleb, Lane, and Tosh. Tosh is incredible. Lane is incredible. I don't know. I think everyone has, like, their own direction that they can go and make it. Like, Dabbl is, like, so talented and, like, has a crazy air awareness. Keenan is, like, the most fundamentally there. Like, everything he does is perfect. Finn is incredible at snowboarding. It's insane. You've watched Finn. He's just, like...
Yeah, Finn's crazy. He's got really, really good jump style.
Oh, yeah.
He has, like, the
so
it factor.
sleepy.
Yeah, like, his front side... He has a frontside 7 or front 7 or front 10 I'm thinking about.
Oh, the cab double 10 nose? Or tail?
No, it was Melon. It was, like, 2 years ago. I hard posted because it was just so fucking sick. I was like, this is exactly what I would like to look like if I was hitting a huge jump doing a front 10. Like,
oh, for sure.
Just like Melon, and then right in the middle, he's like, I'm just going to poke it out.
Yeah.
So like, what?
Dude, how?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think everyone, it's like one guy that's like the I guess I'll say like the guy who I think is like killing it right now is Tosh. Like,
sick.
He's got just like the crazy fundamentals, crazy pop. And he knows how to freaking drive a sled like no one knows.
No way.
He's from Smithers.
Sled.
He can sled, and he can hit backcountry jumps. He was in Stewart, actually. Like, just, like, getting after it. So,
dude.
He's going to, like, blow up the world soon.
So, Shmobb's going to take over.
Yeah. Shmobb's about to take over. Shmobb.
Is that what you do? Is that, like,
Shmobb.
if you're editors? Come on, you can keep going.
Shmobb.
So does Shmobb and this younger generation that you're hanging out with, like if you guys get a photo in a magazine, does that mean anything to people your age, or do you guys even?
We're stoked. Like,
Yeah?
we think it's huge.
Cool.
We're kind of right now only known in Canada, I guess. Like, no one really knows who we are outside of Canada.
Totally.
But like, if we got a photo in like Slush or the Snowboarders Journal or something, or King Snow, we'd be frothing. Like, we'd be so hyped.
Good. That's dope to hear.
So
that.
hopefully we get some stuff. We've been shooting photos. Like, some of the boys, we've been trying to get after it. We made that like mini film, Hate Us, which was like 3 years of us just fucking around on the streets, like building like shitty features. And we're like, let's just put something out. But yeah, we got some stuff coming.
Man, when you're your age, though, the only thing that you should be doing is just fucking around. And not you're 19 years old. Like you're all just. I would just say, and maybe you can confirm this, is that at your age, in these probably last couple of years, you just started to really come into your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just start being like at 17, 18 years old, you look up to people. And then 19, 20, 21, 22, you really start developing into your own unique rider that's like, I'm going to, like you were saying, you were articulating all those strong points from all those different riders. It's like, eventually they all start leaning into their things, and you can see that you're doing that. You can see Caleb's fucking doing that.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of has their strengths and weaknesses. You lean into your strengths.
For sure.
You push it as much as you can in the park, and then you know your
Take it
lanes.
somewhere else. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better, actually. That's perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped I mustered that up.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Sometimes I fumble over my words just because, like, we were talking at the beginning with the multiple concussions I've had.
Yeah.
And then a couple times
Just
you were like, I'm going to blame this on the concussion. I was like, me too. And I was like, wait, no one's going to listen to a podcast where we're both blaming everything on concussions.
Just
We're like, wait.
Start blubbering.
Yeah, totally. We're going to just interrupt each other for the rest of the time. I'm glad we touched on what Shmobb was, though, because I think a lot of people are very confused.
Yeah. Yeah. The name is crazy. I love it because it's crazy. And I like that it's like, that's kind of where it stuck. And we were like, should we change it? And it's like, we're all pretty freaking weird and like our own type of people. So if it's like Shmobb, and then people can be like, hey, what's Shmobb? Like, what does that mean? And we'll be like, I don't know. You got to watch this video and find out. That's clickbait right there.
That is clickbait.
For future.
Speaking of clickbait, social media. Do you and your crew, or you specifically, find that landscape pretty overwhelming? Or do you like it? Or
Yeah. No. I think for me, social media is super almost easy. It's hard to say that, but it's like I just like I get it kind of, and like it's so easy for me to post a video and just like have it like work or something, and like just to like post random stories. And I think as a contest rider who's trying to make it yet and hasn't seen the big podiums, social media is huge for me. Like we talked about this, we're like, if I didn't have social media, you were like, no one would know who you are. And I was like, it's true. Like no one would know the guy who's getting 20th place at a World Cup.
Totally.
Yeah. So I think for me, it actually benefits my situation. And I think it's cool because I can show like a full different community snowboarding and what I do. And I think there is times where social media can get a bit sketch. And even I've been like trying to balance it. Like I posted that, you saw that sunset thing the other day. I posted the sunset video and put text over it. That was the first time I posted with text. And you actually commented, like, I can't see the video, move the text or something. And I was like, fuck, I took it too far. I gotta take this down. I took this too far. Like
I was laughing so hard. It's just like this. What were you doing in that clip? Because I don't even remember because the fucking text.
I was doing a back one nose grab.
Yeah, you're doing the sickest back one nose grab on this beautiful sunset jump, going massive, like right in the tweak. It's like this caption right above it. I was like, dude, fuck this caption.
Yeah.
You don't need a caption. This shot is A grade, but it helps it like go viral though.
Yeah.
If you want a clip to go from the core community to the mainstream, which, you know, as we all know to some degree, core is poor and the mainstream is maybe where some money is or whatever, or the followers and the likes.
Yeah.
You got to navigate that sea though, because, you know, sometimes maybe what you think you want in life is all those followers and all that money, and then you get there, you're like everybody else in Hollywood, just absolutely miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
and
what
so
I mean. It's hard to find that balance.
You want to find that balance because
Yeah.
you want to stick to like what your truth is.
Yeah.
And like lean into that shit and be
Yeah,
like,
for
this
sure.
is who I am. I don't need to have some like, I don't need to go too mainstream. It's like,
Yeah.
I look at like the ultra viral videos that people use like the sound bite of the day. And it's
Yeah.
like, to me, it's so cringe. I'm like, you like the top 10 sounds that'll make your video go. I'm like, don't you want like, if you died or something like that, your son to be like, or your daughter, whoever, or your friends and family to watch this video and be like, he really liked Neil Young or like The Doors, where it's like, just like, I don't know, like progression is the, it's just like some random person talking over your riding. It's like, what the fuck?
No, for sure. It's hard to find that balance.
But maybe somebody's into what I just said, and then that's actually their shit, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But the majority of people, it's not. They're doing it so they can go viral. But
Yeah.
snowboarding's the point of certain snowboard clips aren't to go viral. But if no one sees them, then that doesn't help either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you have like your best clip ever, and you see it gets 400 likes. You're like, this is the best thing I've ever done. Like, I really want Red to see this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
How can this end up in Red and
Red's
Renee's feed?
Yeah.
And I want like all these people to like. I
Yeah.
want a Marcus Cleveland like.
Oh yeah, dude. It feels pretty good when you get the Cleveland like.
Do you have a couple followers that you're juiced on these days?
Oh yeah.
Who's
Cleveland is one of them.
Who's recently hit you?
I
with
got
a
the
follow?
Rene follow because we kind of became like a homie acquaintances, you know, where you like not texting but you're homies when you see each other. He like didn't follow me and he followed my sister.
Nice,
And
legend.
I was like, this would be pretty sick if I got
You're
the
like, I'm
Rene
gonna knock
follower.
you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, bro. I'm only 19, but I'm getting pretty stocky. I'm gonna knock you out if you follow
don't-
my sister and not me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got that one. I was pretty stoked. The Mark one was probably the biggest. I think I took a screenshot and sent that to my dad.
The McMo?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, made it.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're good.
Dad's proud.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, congratulations, son.
Has your dad ever put pressure on you? Does he want you to?
No,
Is
no,
he like?
no. He's super, like, actually, shout out to him. He's so good with it. Like, he just, ever since we were young, he's like, with jobs or anything, he's like, you want to do something that makes you happy. Like, at the end of the day, you want your job to be something that's making you happy and not something that you're going home with and, like, bummed. So he's, like, always, like, pushed snowboarding in, like, a good direction. Where it's like, hey, are you having fun? Like, keep doing it. Like, he's not like, oh, you didn't do a back triple today? Oh, like, you're not sleeping in the bunk bed anymore, but you're sleeping on the couch tonight. But he's been super good, and he's always just been, like, there. Like, super helpful. If, like, he notices I'm not, like, doing my best. He'll just like check in on me, or like he's also like super helpful with like social media or like sponsors, because he's a marketer. So he's been able to give me that marketing touch where it's like, hey, you should do this to show yourself in this way, or like posting this. Like he was the reason why I started doing the mini mic.
That's so sick.
He's like, dude, you love to talk. You talk so much. How about you just start talking with a little mini mic and ask people questions? I was like, you're right. I probably should do that. So he'll just give me little ideas. He's not like pushing anything on me, which is cool.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And that mini mic idea is genius, because like there's so many good snowboarders now. It's just hard to get noticed. You know, you're just lost at sea with everybody else. And unless you move to like Salt Lake City and like, you know, I don't know, like there's like a recipe to be like a rail rider, a backcountry rider, a contest rider.
Yeah.
But that recipe is getting completely rewritten right now.
Oh yeah.
And everybody, including team managers, are like, what? More specifically, brands are like, what do we lean into so we can still make money in this like snowboard world? Because this is crazy, man. Like, and I don't think people are realizing this, but I'm realizing this, and we are under attack. Like, dude, like there are so many companies now that are not snowboard companies, that have zero credibility, have no roots, have no history, have no team.
They're coming in,
building low quality product, that are coming in and becoming snowboard companies overnight and taking massive market share.
Oh, insane amount.
It's like, oh, thanks for your 40-year history and like all you've ever done for snowboarding, and like, you know, Jamie Lynn's cool, but you know, that's out the door. Now we have all these. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like we always had like kind of in a way, there was a way to like gatekeep snowboarding in a healthy way. But now with social media, any Joe Schmo can start a company. And if they hit the algorithm, honestly, they can be a goggle company overnight. And it's like, see you later, Ashbury. And you're like, Ashbury's a snowboard company owned by a snowboarder with a sick team. Yeah. And they love LeWiff. Like, can we please like
what
rate
it? Yeah.
Totally.
No, it's crazy actually.
Yeah, we're under attack, everybody.
Yeah.
We're under attack.
Put the shield up. Put the guards up.
You want to put the guard up. You want to put the shield up. And you want to make sure that you're voting with your dollars.
Yes.
As much as you can. And I think you can talk to this, but like just how important is like a local skate shop?
Oh my goodness. Huge. The Circle, if it wasn't for the Circle, I wouldn't like, I'd be so cooked. I'd probably be riding dope snow right now if it wasn't for the Circle, to be honest. Like they're so, I like would go there every day when I was like 10 years old, every day. And since then I go there every day. I'll get home from a trip and take my board bag to the Circle and like say what up. And like I go in there and it's been John every time, and he'll be like, dude, check out this video. You gotta check out this video. He'll be like, yo, that's kind of whack what you're doing. Or like he'll just like call shit how it is. And I like was able to learn and get educated through them, and through like that one TV above the mirror, I'd be able to just like watch shit and be stoked on like certain guys or certain people. Yeah, without local skate and snowboard shops, I don't know where we'd be at, or like where like a little kid like me would be at. It'd be so clueless, just walking the streets, checking his phone, like, damn, dope snow? That's sick. Like, I'm going to cop that. And, like, yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to the Circle.
It is nice having a local shop that you can kind of drop in, especially when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely know John, and John's a big talker like you and me.
Yep.
And John, I would say his advice is sometimes wrong, because John and I have a different opinion sometimes.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Is John's opinion more often than not is better than any uneducated opinion.
Oh, yeah.
John Martin is a student.
Yeah.
He's watched all the videos. Yeah. His opinion, as much as it might be different than mine, I respect, and I know that he's like a snowboarder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like John Martin is like, you know, it's like he's showed up day in and day out, and he's like, he's in.
The time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like to have somebody like John mentor you at a young age, so you could be like, hey, like these companies are important to support.
Yeah.
And you know that there's like Howell Gloves here that you should check out. And there's this guy named Daryl that owns the company. And like Van's Landline just came out and you should watch this. And Dylan Ojo is really sick. And like this is why a squared up back lip is dope. And this is why going to fakie is still cool if you do it like this. And it's like those things like
they're crucial.
Yeah. I mean, like without that mentorship, your no slide double backflip back 180 wouldn't have that flavor it has.
Yeah.
Because you do have like, let's talk about your early influences.
Yeah.
Who are your early influences? Like whose style are like were you influenced in the early years that helped develop and hone like this
When I
new
was
skill set?
young?
Yeah.
I looked up to Tyler Nicholson was a big one. Mikey. Tyler, I always spun flat when I was a kid because I was too scared to go upside down.
Yeah.
And he always spun flat, and I was like, dude, this guy's he rides like a dog, man. Like he stomps everything. And so I liked his style, and then Mikey's style is super calm. So I was like, Mikey's just like so perfect and everything. So I looked up to him, and then as I started to get a bit older, it kind of was just TRing. Like he's still so young and not much older than me, but I'd like watch his clips and just be like, dude, I want to ride exactly like him. You have those like. You actually are one of them. Like I said earlier, I was trying to do that poke, the shifty poke.
Yeah.
It's like this is kind of like a different style for every single thing of my snowboarding now. Where it's like, I want to look like Tiaran when I land, Jody when I do this poke, Devin too when I do this poke, Mikey in the air.
Devin's not poking. Devin's just floating.
Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah. No,
Devin,
when
no
I do the
pokey,
no
all
grabs, I'm
floaty.
just like, oh yeah, I'm chilling.
Yeah, totally. There
Yeah.
you go.
But yeah, those are the big ones. Darcy's huge actually because he has like a looser style that you're like, that just looks fun. Like he just looks like he's having fun, and then he can like tone it into like a super clean style.
Totally. Tyler's cab 14s were insane. Like the one he did at the Olympics was like ridiculous.
He's just
I remember
so, like-
Jeeves texted me after that, and he was like, "Holy fuck, that was absolutely insane." He went like to the bottom, absolutely. It looks like he broke the landing.
Yeah.
He landed so bolts. Like he was a really an animal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember he has like there's a couple snowboarders that really have like when they turn it on, they just go into like beast mode,
savage mode,
and like I just don't have that. And every day I used to like when Tyler was riding the park, like 2016 maybe 2018, like those years, it was like
so
gnarly. Like
hitting Shack left, just like to the moon.
That jump, I haven't hit that jump in years.
Yeah, that thing's a hog.
You have to go. That's jacket flapper. That's a jacket flapper jump. Like your jacket is just fucking flapping for that thing. Pop, pop, pop. All right, we got 10 questions here.
Ooh, let's do it.
These are important for you.
All right.
I'm gonna knock my papers here. All right. Okay. Best style currently and best style back in the day.
Best style currently. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Caleb, just because I'm just gonna give it to him.
Good pick.
And it's who I watch the most. Caleb Tromlak. Best style back in the day. It's kind of hard not to say Devin. He's incredible. Yeah, I remember meeting him too. It was crazy because he's friends with the Pelchets and stuff, and we used to all be like little families together. So we'd go over there, and Devin was like there, and he'd be like, "Yo, what up?" You're like, "Yo, dude, what up?"
Yeah.
Then I'd be in the car home, and my dad's like, "Dude, you know who we were just chilling with?" I was like, "What?" And I was like, "No way!" And then we'll
Is
watch
your
a
dad
video.
a super fan of snowboarding?
Yeah.
So he knows all this shit.
He knows a lot of this shit. Yeah,
That's so cool.
so he knows like all the stuff I was fucking up earlier. He's probably
totally.
gonna watch this and be like, "Dude, you're blowing it.
Totally.
You're blowing a kid."
Your best style Caleb. He's like, you didn't want to say Mark. I don't know. Mark Morissette or something like that. But there's a sick Ollie photo I have around here that I want. That photo's the best. That photo you should because you're 19 and your brain is still developing and you named some amazing riders there. When you leave this room, there's a couple riders in here you should like. There's some Noah Slasnick. You should do some research on him.
Right.
There's some Scotty Whitlake, some Trevor Andrew, Nicholas Mueller you didn't bring up.
Oh,
There's
I actually met him in Lax and took a selfie with him and was tripping. I should have brought up Nicholas Mueller.
No, that's sick that you met him. How's he doing? Did he seem...
He seemed good.
Cool.
I was like, I seen him at the top and I was like, I think that's him. And then I went down the bottom and he was there and I was like, that's him. And then I was asking my friends, I was like, do you think I can take a photo with him? You think that's weird? They're like, no, you should. And like full up was like, dude, I need a selfie. And he's like, yeah, sounds good, man.
He's nice.
And I'm like, I wanted to talk about more what's been going on with him, but I was also like, dude, like, let's just take this photo. I'm going to put my arm around you. This is going to be amazing for 10 seconds. Then we'll go our separate ways probably for till I don't know when.
I don't know either. Bryn, actually, I did this like new little branch off of the podcast where I'm going to hit up riders, ask them for like a favorite clip,
Sick.
and then send in a little quote with it. And
Sick.
Bryn sent me this clip of Nicholas doing this like back 180 off this step down and into this natty switchback 5.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing clip.
Yeah.
And then he kind of wrote like, dude, like, I hope he's doing good. Like, politics aside, like, this is one of the greatest snowboarders of all time. And like, it's just when people do go through like mental illnesses or whatever, like pushing them out is not the answer. You know what I mean? Like having conversations and talking to people is the answer, not just being like, this guy thinks different than me, let's never talk again. It's like, are you a child? That's not how you be an adult.
Maybe,
I don't know. It's not how you like meet somebody in the middle and then like, you both kind of maybe walk away from the conversation learning something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't move your stance, you could maybe be like, fuck, like dude's had 25 concussions. Like maybe I should have a little bit more empathy.
Compassion. I don't fully know what went down either, so I'm
Me neither.
Speaking off that, but
exactly.
Yeah.
We won't dive into the politics about that because I don't know either. I've heard a bunch of things, but we're not going to bring up rumors because Nicholas is my favorite snowboarder of like all time. So I'm not going to throw him under the bus here. No. Maybe he deserves to be thrown under the bus, but that's another day. We just don't know. We just don't know. Good picks. Caleb. Yeah, can't say enough about him. If Caleb Chomlak was a stock, I would be betting on him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Shmobb riders that I think there's a couple Shmobb riders I'd be fucking putting money on.
Yeah.
What makes somebody a pro snowboarder in 2024 to you?
Oh, damn. Influencer. No, 100,000 followers. I don't know. I think you could like go so many ways with this question, like having a pro model, being paid. But I think it's like when you've reached that point where you've like put in the time in either the contest world and like one contest, or you've put in the time in the street or backcountry world and like made like 10, maybe not 10, but you've made like plenty of video parts that are like up there and dope, and there's certain people's favorites. I think that's when you can kind of start to say you're a pro snowboarder. If they're good, they got to be good. And you just like, you continue to just like board and inspire like the younger generation. So I think, if you're like, you've either won a ton of contests or you've put in the time and like, you're probably getting paid if you're doing either of those things. So I'd say that's a pro snowboarder and someone that kids are looking up to. It's pretty big too.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that the way you articulated like a certain people's favorite snowboarder, it's like if you're respected by the community of snowboarders, that would be like a professional. Is like I would say like if your mentors and your peers and the people that are younger than you, and if there's a whole group of people that are being like, you're part of the club, you're part of the club, even if you don't feel like it. The Mark Sollers episode that I just did, like he was saying that like when he turned like super pro and he's there at a contest with Pat Moore and Blauvelt and Terrier and everything like that he had like crazy imposter syndrome, but he later realized he's like, oh no, like I was meant to be there. I was part of the club. It's like, you were. You're at the Lax Open because you're part of the club. I
had heavy.
You're proving yourself.
Like my coaches actually kept being like, dude, like ride like you ride, like.
How'd you ride?
I rode pretty nervous. Like I was pretty nervous because, like you said, you're like, these are the biggest dudes I've ever ridden with. I looked up to these dudes. I don't belong here, but like in reality, it's like, hey, you've worked to get here. You can ride to be here. I landed a run, but I didn't like. I did a shitty rail run that I bummed on. I should have just like.
What was your rail run?
I don't even want to say it.
Let's say it.
I'm
say
not
it.
Gonna say
say
it.
it.
I'm
say
not
it.
gonna. Dude, it's so like.
Did you do a half cab 50 front 3?
Holy shit, dude.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh my god, you son of a bitch.
I know, because I was stressing on everything. I was like, I don't know how to snowboard. I'm gonna do this trick. And
sometimes you got to, dude. Sometimes
no, you don't. And that's why I texted my coach after. I was like, I'm never doing anything like that again. Like I know how to snowboard better than this. Like, let's turn it up. I was trying to add a crail to it, so it was a little better, but I missed the crail like an idiot. So learned a lot. But yeah,
Devin Walsh once told me to never grab out of a rail. I did a nose grab to a lip slide one time.
Oh, into a rail.
Yeah, I was like me, Belzil, and Anto went on a rail trip together, and I did this gap lip slide, but I did a nose grab because the photographer wanted to like add some spice. And I did it. I was all hyped. I was on a like a DC trip with like Devin after, and we're driving around in the minivan, and Devin's just like, had some drinks, and he's just like, what's up with all these fucking riders grabbing their boards before they're going to a rail? He's like, have you ever seen a skateboarder do a nose grab to lip slide or a stale fish to boards? I'm like, that was one of my favorite clips of the year. I didn't put that clip out. I was like, if Devin thinks this, but then I rethought about it, and I was like, what? because I grew up skating more, and I was like, dude, he's right. Who has ever done a grab to a rail slide? I was like, I'm influenced by skateboarding for rails, not like anything else. Like, I want my rail snowboarding to look as much like skateboarding as possible. And people are like, you're biting it. It's like, I am. Unless I'm riding a box. If I'm riding a box, I want to look like a snowboarder, and I want to do 1,000 switch-ups, and I want to just have a good time, and I don't want anyone to judge me. It's a box. Like, I'm dancing. But if it's a rail, I want the trick to look like I'm skateboarding.
Yeah. Wow. You must have been tripping when he said that.
Yeah, I totally was.
Yeah. Like, I would have been.
It was sick.
Just hopped out the car.
I mean, it was like you just being
sick.
like, I don't want to tell you what trick I did. I was like, did you do a half cab 50-50 front three? And you're like,
now
yes.
I know. Yeah, now I know. Actually, that's huge.
What's your favorite trick right now in a contest slopestyle run, and what's your least favorite?
That I do, or just any trick?
Any. Like, are there some pet peeves that you have with like tricks that you're like, dude, that one's got to go?
Yeah,
like,
I might say this, and then in years down, I might have to learn it. But I think when people go back 14 nose grab or back 16 nose grab, and they bring it up, like I said, they bring it up to their nips,
the whirly bird,
and they just spin around.
The tornado,
the double. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not down.
Yeah, that's never been down. Nobody's ever like that.
I don't think anyone's like that. Like, actually, Luke Winkelman does a really nice back 16 nose and back 14, but he doesn't pull it up to him. He like kind of like hangs it, pulls it, and then yeah, that's probably the one. And then best one, which I'm down for, the front triple 14. That is so hard and so gnarly. So when people do that, oh shit, sorry,
it's all good.
The monster's kicking it. When people do that, it's like, that's impressive.
Who's got a good front side triple?
Mark and Nick Laframboise. Yeah, I don't know. You know Nick? Little French.
Oh, the little kid. That's like Canadian.
Yeah.
That kid is sick. Yeah, I met him this summer at Momentum.
Yeah,
that kid's
so
dope.
Sick. Yeah, he's good too. He's got some crazy. He did like a switch triple nollie rodeo too.
Switch triple.
Or maybe it's a 90 roll.
But a switch triple nollie? How do you do a switch
so
and a nollie?
I don't know.
Fakey,
sorry, Cap. Oh shit. Skate.
This is like a burn episode.
But fakey, I whenever I say fakey, actually I got called out the other day for saying cab board. I don't know. Do you say cab board same way?
I just say switchboard. But here's another thing.
Cab. Like whenever I spin cab, I say cab. But
that's fine. That's because your whole era is confused because we started saying cab, which never made sense, and we should have never started calling any unless you're like maybe in the pipe.
Yeah.
But like if you really look at it, cab is fakey.
Yeah.
Steve Caballero, like you're doing like a cab spin is like a fakey pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
true.
If you're doing switch, it's switch backside. It should just be called switch frontside.
Yeah, good point.
That's the end of the day. Switch frontside.
Yeah.
But if I was to go up tomorrow and Belzil went in front of me and did a switch front 7, I'd be like, oh, sick cab 7. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I definitely would. I definitely, without a doubt, would say cab 7. But so no wonder your generation just like confused as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, yeah.
That's a good point, though, actually. The fakey pop. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, you can't do a
you're
switch nollie.
Yeah.
I mean, switch.
I'm gonna take that whole sentence. This is the way I'm gonna say cut and repeat.
Yeah,
no,
yeah. No.
But yeah, the switch. He did I guess a fakey back triple rodeo, which is mental.
Yeah, that is.
He just like spins backwards to the knuckle 3 times. But yeah, those are my favorite tricks. Favorite and least favorite tricks.
I like it. Most underrated boarder.
I had to talk about this question with my friends because I watched some questions last night secretly in the bed. I feel like the most underrated is like that term to me. When people get put under that term, usually they stay there. And I don't like that. I feel like people are like,
cool.
They say, oh, this guy's underrated. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's underrated. Let's not do anything about it. Let's keep him underrated. Where like, I feel like, yeah, they deserve, like when someone says underrated, that should be like, okay, he's underrated. Let's push him to the top. Like this guy should not be underrated. He should be rated. But my most underrated snowboarder,
I like that though.
I'd probably say another one of my friends. I'd say Bryn, because Bryn is just like so fucking good.
If I was a betting man, I think that there's a couple companies out right now that, based on the hype from Airtime Podcast, no, I'm kidding, but from everything, from his own snowboarding, is like that Underdog is about to get what he deserves. I hope. Yeah. Snowboarding would be failing miserably if there's not a team manager out there right now that's like, Bryn should be on our pro team making 6. Bryn, if he got the opportunity, could go out there with Ben Ferg and the 3 other Mickelbang, and they could film the best snowboard video ever. Like,
incredible.
He is not like a hey, let's go, Bryn. He's pretty good for Canadian. It's like he's one of the best snowboarders in the world. Bring him out there. Like, fucking, let's go.
Give him the shot.
Not as good as Mickle. Never. No one's in Mickle's category, but
yeah, I'd probably say Lane Weaver too.
Oh, nice.
Bring
up the homies.
I'm just bringing up the homies.
I like
so
that, man.
Good. I trip watching him.
What's your favorite trick from him? What like if he's coming in to a jump, what do you want to see him do?
Something insane where he's just gonna flip and spin and then land on his feet, and you're not gonna. The other day I was filming him and he just like went cab 14, like 3rd lap. I'm like, dude, who are you? Like, you've never done that trick in your life and you just tried it. Like, he'll just do the craziest stuff, and I'm just so down to watch him board. And he can ride switch the same. He can ride his normal stance, so it's pretty impressive.
Favorite backcountry rider? That's powder. Like, you know what that is? It's the thing that's all over the walls here.
What's the backcountry?
Totally. What's a backcountry?
It's like the side hits off Excalibur at the end of the day. I'd probably go Chris Raz.
Nice.
I'm pretty down with Chris Razman.
Nice. Good pick. Favorite steel boarder?
Cole Navin is pretty up there.
There you go.
He's pretty up there. I also like Marty McFly really a lot. That's probably my favorite street board clip. His cab 2 in the Mount Mountain video. What was it? I don't remember what the video was called, but probably the best cab 2 ever done. That's a big statement. I know you posted one. I think Marty McFly's is up there.
I think Marty's is better.
Okay.
I think that Marty's is more gnarly.
Yeah.
And Justin Fronius's, that was in the VG movie, was more perfect.
Yeah.
But I would, if I had to go to one of those kinks, I've been to the one that Marty did. The only other trick that really had been done on that kink that Marty Cab 270, as far as I'm aware, is like Lucas Magoon hit that in one of the old Tech 9 movies and did 50-50 on it. Like, that thing is high, it's big, and it's it's not wobbly, but it's like thin round bar. You know what I mean? Not like thick. Where like Fronius is like a nice piece of steel. Like not that it's small or whack either. It's absolutely, they're both like super all time. We're talking about like a LeBron versus Michael Jordan swoosh right now, and they're both like absolutely
nothing could be better.
Yeah. Yeah. What keeps you up at night?
Oh man. My thoughts. What thoughts? I guess thoughts keep everyone up at night. That's a stupid answer.
There are no stupid answers.
Well, triple quirks, 1800s, and then money. Money's a pretty stressful one sometimes.
It is.
Like, it's not that stressful, but it's like, okay, you got to start thinking about this. You're sleeping in your parents' small bunk bedroom with Tosh next to you.
You do
it's
need
so
to
dope, but you got to start figuring some stuff out.
Your biggest asset in life is time. So the fact that you're 19 years old, if you get a good paying job in the summer and you just work your ass off, and like if you're not going to go to school, based on our conversation, I don't think you're going to be going like, I want to go to university right now.
No.
You're focused on boarding, get a job in trades, work your ass off. At 25, you'll be making insane money doing trades.
Yeah.
And then you'll also be able to quit because you'll be doing so well doing snowboarding. But if you don't luck out in snowboarding making a bunch of money, you will be killing it in 6 years doing trades. You will have a skill set
that's a good point.
Cannot get taken away from you. As
and
long as you're
needed.
not like every other kid these days that doesn't know how to work, and you show up on time and actually work your ass off, which you look like you're a hard worker. I can't recommend it enough. Like it had every pro snowboarder that I know right now that isn't from money, which is everybody I know, like had like multiple, like Rusty, like Razman, Solers before he, like Belzil, everybody worked their asses off in the summer, bought a truck and a sled, paid their bills off. And then the winter time was like, you get to chip away at new sponsorship deals and stuff like that. But you have a good nest egg because you have a good paying job in the summer. First couple years are kind of dog shit because you don't get paid like great money, and you're doing labor and other jobs that you don't want to do. You gonna puke?
No, I'm like burping. Sorry.
Oh, you're burping.
Trying to not burp in the mic. Yeah, no, for sure. I've always wanted to be a carpenter too, actually.
There you, dude. Carpenters are
They do some cool stuff.
Yeah, they do the best.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be a carpenter? What would
I like building. Like I always loved building. We used to always build skate ramps in the back of our backyards. Like we had the sickest skate ramps. But I always like wanted to build my own house or my own skate park or just like own shelves, just everything. I think it's so cool. You can get so creative. And I'm terrible at drawing, so I like rather just build stuff.
Cool. You're an incredible skateboarder. Who do you look up to for skating?
Ooh. Oh, Curran Caples. Oh, Pedro. Curran Caples and Pedro. Those are my two favorites growing up. That was
very different, but at the same time,
the complete opposite.
But like, yeah, totally.
Like couldn't be more different.
What was your what's your favorite thing about each one of them?
Curran's was like his style and flow. Like he could just go slow and like just like make it look really nice. And then Pedro's was his speed and gnarliness.
Fastest skater
just
of all
like
time.
Just like the dog in him was like crazy.
Yeah.
And my dad, those were like kind of my dad's favorites. So I was like,
That's,
I want to be like my dad, and these are my two favorites too now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did everything that he kind of like idolize and look up to at one point, you're like, that's the dopest thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that pick that you just did there because it reminds me of my dad with hockey. My dad's favorite like hockey players or whatever. I was just like, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
now.
of
Totally.
course.
People ask you, you're like, oh, totally. Like that's totally my favorite. Timu Solani, the best hockey player I've ever played.
Yeah.
Career highlight.
Ooh, career highlight. Probably that MBD was pretty high. I was pretty stoked on that.
Like, was the ride away crazy?
The ride away was crazy. I was like, I just did that shit.
It's a crazy drug, eh? That clip high.
Oh, it's crazy.
But
dude,
filmed.
followed after it is like, you're like almost like, okay, what's next? You like kind of get like into a depressive state. I remember just being like super bummed after. Like I laced it so high, best feeling, and then just like went home. I'm like, damn, now I just feel empty. Like what's going on?
Pendulum swing.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to the Huberman Lab podcast. He talks about that all the time.
Yeah. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
That one was big. My first double cork was pretty big. It was pretty hype. I remember Mike Stasic was coaching me at that point, and he like filmed it and was all like super stoked. So I was just like super stoked to do one of those because I never did doubles. And then, yeah, those are pretty big. Anytime I'm with the boys is like a career highlight. Just anytime you're with Shmobb on a sunny day, it's just so fun. You're just so everything, and nothing beats it. You're just so hyped.
Nothing beats a sunny chairlift ride with like your friends, and they're all in a good mood. It's like literally the best thing ever. You're like on the chairlift, and you're just about at the top. And you know it's going to be, you know where you have a couple little side hits planned out and you got your favorite features and it's soft out, but not too soft.
Everyone's just smiling.
Or a pow day. Or like, or just an epic pow day. Favorite park that you've ever ridden?
Oh, probably Perisher or Ruka in Finland. Or, I mean, Blackholm. Blackholm's my favorite. Nothing beats it. But other than Blackholm, Perisher.
Wisp Park was better than. Did you like Wisp Park more, or did you like Blackholm more?
When I was younger, it would have been Wisp Park, but now that I'm older, I like Black Park way more.
Oh,
I actually watched a Weekenders video, and you were in it, and you guys were all shredding Wisp Park. It's like the one where I don't know which one it is, but Darcy's like lapping, and you pop in there for a little bit. Weekenders. That was my favorite YouTube growing up.
That was the like Darcy, Mikey.
Yeah, Weekenders was like that was like.
Is that done now?
I think so. Yeah, it is. But I think Darce might bring some stuff back, but
it's like Shmobb retiring.
Yeah.
You know, that's the future of Shmobb if you don't keep it going. What is the future of Shmobb? What do you hope for? Do you want to make like clothing and bring this thing, like turn it into a big snowboard company?
The goal would be like blow it up, make clothing, make enough money that we can all just buy a house and board with each other and live together for the rest of our lives. And just like, yeah, that's the goal. But before that would be to make videos, find enough like, yeah, just make really cool videos. I just want people like, I want to make a video that some kid is at school. It's like, he's checking his phone. It's like, this video's dropping at 12. Like him and his homies are all hyped. The bell hits. They go for lunch. They watch my video or our video and they're just frothed. And they're like, that was the best video I've seen of all time. I'm going to go watch that over and over. Like, that's what I dream of. And then make some money off the clothes would be big.
Make some serious cake.
And
inspire some kid to go snowboarding. Yeah. All right, who is the GOAT?
My GOAT from my generation is Mark McMoe.
All day.
Before Me, from what I've watched and noticed, would probably be T. Rice or JP Walker, in my opinion, from what I watched. But yeah, Mark is my go right now. He's just done everything.
I mean, Travis and JP were really good plugs there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Michael Jordans.
100% the Michael Jordans.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've scrolled through a lot here. I have one more little thing here from our Patreon.
The Patreon.
Yeah, shout outs to the Patreon. Normally these come earlier in the show, but this just kind of lined up with the end.
Sick.
Based on the question. Huge shout outs to everybody who supports the show. Could not do it without you. If you want to subscribe, check out Airtime, Patreon, and I don't know, send me a coffee, or don't. Either way, it's totally fine. Patreon member James Smith, what's on your bucket list?
Shout out James, nice last name. It's dope. My bucket list, probably to have kids, get married, but like after that would be to like go snowboard in Japan, one of them. Go travel to like Indonesia or Africa with like no snowboard gear and just live. Just like enjoy the sun, surf. I'm not actually that good at surfing, but I just like to be there and watch.
Nobody from Canada is that good at surfing.
What else? I kind of want to what's it called? Skydive. But I'm also super scared of heights, so it's like
Maybe not the
best. I want to go to a concert. I've never been to a concert, and I'm bummed on that. I really want to go to a big concert and live it up.
That is amazing. If you really like the musician,
Yeah.
it is insane. I went and saw this DJ named Fred again, and he's just like this musician that I really like.
Yeah.
And it was the crazy, like just seeing it live, the feeling I got was insane.
So cool.
Like it was wild. It was absolutely insane to see, like, you listen to somebody's music for like 2 years before they even blow up or something like that, and nobody knows them, and then you see them playing at this huge stage. You feel a part of that journey. So it's like if Shmobb goes right now into like the biggest snowboard company in the world, it's like people that listen to this in 5 years when they're like, dude, Shmobb is fucking bigger than Nike. It's like they feel like they're part of the fucking journey. That's how I felt.
That's cool. Yeah, you were like the one of 500 listeners.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, do you remember me? Like, I was listening to you.
I was listening to Shmobb. You're like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Get off my yacht.
Oh, yeah. That's one. To go on a yacht. Or a private jet. I really want to go on a private jet.
Yeah.
Not own one, but like, actually, owning one would be pretty freaking cool, but I don't think I'm going to get there.
I like the idea of the yacht more.
Yeah, you're not a fan of the private jet?
Well, the private jet seems chill too, but like the yacht just seems like a nice yacht with no wind, sunny, warm water, and you can see land, because I have a phobia of being out on the water without being able to see land, because one time I got lost at sea in Mexico, but that's another story for another time. And I like charcuterie boards, so I feel like
charcuterie.
I mean, I guess on a first class flight or whatever, on your own private plane, you could have a charcuterie board.
You could
do whatever you want, actually.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Charcuterie board.
I don't know. I like both of them.
Yeah.
In closing, anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors? Any thank yous?
Yeah.
Any last remarks?
Yeah. Big shout out to Whistler Valley. They brought like Shmobb together, pretty much. Rob Picard, everyone there, Antoine, Joe, Sam, like all my first coaches, like they all brought like all of us together, which created. It made like a safe space for us to snowboard and be ourselves and have fun, which ended up creating us into this group of people who want to snowboard together forever, for life. My parents, of course, my little brother, my two sisters, they're sick. My little brother's, I don't know if you checked him out, Oak Smith. He's like about to take over the world. He's a little model. And all my friends. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know where I'd be. Probably at some tech school trying to like make a software company or something lame.
That sounds kind of cool.
I don't know. I know it's for me. It's respect if you guys are doing that, but I don't really want to be doing that at college. Probably I don't know where I'd be without them. And then everyone who's been supporting me, Everyman Jack, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, Capita Union Vans, Nixon, Shmobb, I don't know, Ashbury, I don't know, Airholt. Anyone who's ever given me anything, thank you.
So the most important two sponsors that we need to talk about. So you got a deodorant sponsor here, Everyman Jack.
Soap and deodorant.
I'm gonna take that sandalwood one,
Yeah,
like
that
I
one's for
said,
you.
from the Winnipeg. We don't have scents like that, and I just got introduced to them in the last couple. And then the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, absolutely delicious. We went through one of them that was Score. What was the other one?
I don't know. This peanut one? I don't
The
even know.
salted peanut caramel.
Yeah.
Either way, are they only found in Whistler, the Rocky Chocolate?
You can find them in like different places, but like the owner of the one here is named Scott. Great dude. He's from Whistler local. I don't know if he started it, but he's like he controls the one here. He's the man.
Yeah, big shout outs to them for the candy apples.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Big shout outs to you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Huge fan. On and off the hill. Ever since we played kickball that one time at Holy Bowly, I was like, damn, this kid's got it going on. And I think that this is the tip of the iceberg for you, man. I think you're gonna just don't panic, don't overthink everything. Go snowboarding, have fun with Shmobb, and it'll all pan out just perfectly. Just don't do what I do and stress yourself out because it's a waste of time. It's a complete waste. You're so young. Just you have the whole life ahead of you. If you need to, if your head starts feeling weird, take time off, like stretch, take care of your health.
Yeah.
Hang out with your homies. Thank you for coming on the show. Thanks for supporting it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care.
Yeah, thank you very much for all that. You're the man. Big fan.
Cheers, boss.
Cheers, dude.
Thanks, Truth. Peace.
Ciao.
I feel like I said yup 8,000 times.
3, 2. Oh my God.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
The Airtime Podcast is presented by Van Shoes since 1966.
There's nothing fake about it. Have something to believe in and be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Airtime, y'all's podcast.
Yes, sir.